Listen, the thoughts and opinions expressed on the StayDownLA Podcast belong to me, K Saxopy, and maybe whoever else got the nerve to pull up. This ain't for the overly sensitive, overly serious, or anybody looking to be offended on purpose. If you're mad, you might want to log off now. And for everybody else, welcome to the StayDownLA Podcast. Let's talk our shit. What up? It's your boy K Saxopy, and welcome back to another podcast episode. Yes. What episode number are we on? This is episode 43. Episode 43 of the StayDownLA Podcast. With that being said, we are officially 9 episodes away from our 1 year anniversary. Gotta clap it up. 1 year of dropping a podcast episode every week and 1 year of consistency. What is the word of the day? Consistency. Okay. Yes, brother. Yes, mother. I apologize for the sound of the fan in the background. You know, sometimes when I be making these episodes, I get nice and hot, man. So I have the fan in the background, already cooling your boy off. But I'm trying to see right now if it's a big issue. If it's a big problem, I'll turn it off. I might have to turn it off regardless. I think the only way that it won't be heard is if I'm this distance. Let's see. Yeah, you can hear the fan. I see the mic going up. Alright, so no fan. But let's get the incense set up for the episode. What flavor are we going with today? We're going with the Bob Marley. We had some sex on the beach last week, so we're going to do some Bob Marley incense today. Then, of course, you know, today's theme is Six Flags. I'm going to Six Flags today. You feel me? So that's exactly why I have certain certain items with me. You know what's funny? Where did I get this Looney Tunes from Six Flags? It's funny, I don't remember when or where I got him from. But shit, I know Looney Tunes and Six Flags, they go hand in hand, so that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. And then, you know, I got my Six Flags cup. You know, I'm really a member because my cup says 2024. So for the listeners, I'm holding a cup that's orange from Six Flags. Six Flags is very anal about the cups you can use. I used to try to finesse it. Think I could go there and get a new cup every time. Hell no. They don't play that shit. So this is the cup I have to keep. I'm looking at it. I'm pretty sure this is the right cup. Because I'm like, I know they have a members cup. But I'm like, is this the members cup? Man, let me see. I might have to do my research about it. And it got a QR code. So let's see what happens if I scan the QR code. Or maybe it's one of those QR codes only the people that work there could scan it. Okay. That's so crazy. So it's a QR code for the website. That's hilarious. So my cup is some free advertisement and free promo basically. But yeah, let me see. Because I know, if I'm not mistaken, I had 2 Six Flags cups. One red, one orange. Like I'm showing you guys right now. But I might be tripping because that red one might have been the one that wasn't actually accurate. There was one time that I ended up finding out that one of my cups from Six Flags doesn't really work. You know what I'm saying? So it's neither here or there. Clearly, if this is the one that I have in my possession, this is clearly the most important one. And of course, like I said, you know, I got my boys Bugs Bunny with me, so that's what I got with me. I gotta have him low-key standing on the incense because he can't stand alone, so he kind of has to stand on something. You feel me? If you can't stand for nothing, if you can't stand for something, you're gonna fall for anything. That's the quote of the day. But like I said, we're on episode 43. Who am I? K Saxopy. I was gonna say freaking Baby Tron bar because he has a song where he's like, "Who am I? The Prince of the Minute." But who am I? I guess you can call me the Prince of LA, Prince of Nigeria. You know, K Saxopy, as you can see by the chain, as you can see by the ice that's on me. I'm just a young nigga that's getting to the money, a young hustler, a young motivator, a young inspiration. You know what I'm saying? A young constellation. You only see me once in a lifetime, you feel me? You can't see me twice, and if you see me twice, then you got lucky. You feel me? Because lightning don't strike the same place twice. Lightning damn near don't even strike twice. You know what I'm saying? So it's already like something simple. It's already something like amazing to even see me. You know what I'm saying? To come across you, let alone come across your screen, come across your platform. So I appreciate y'all fucking with your boy. But I am K-Saxy. I am artist. You know what I'm saying? Philanthropist, comedian, actor, writer, song composer, performer, you know what I'm saying, poet, you know what I'm saying, certified D dropper, you feel me? Because if you let your girl around me, I'm gonna certified. It's certifiably the D will be dropped, okay? But other than that, I'm just a guy that just likes to talk his shit, you feel me? As stated in the intro. I'm not here for the overly serious. I'm not here for the overly sensitive. I'm here for the people that can be open-minded and can take a joke. And if you can't take a joke, well, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we love the haters too, you know? But I'm just a 26-year-old who just decided that instead of me just keeping all these thoughts to myself, instead of me just always just imagining how I feel, thinking about it, you know what I'm saying? Seeing things that I want to comment on and being too afraid, or I guess you could say worried about how it might be interpreted, why not just make my own platform where I could just give the whole context and give my whole scope of why I believe and think the way that I do. And that was essentially the, you know what I'm saying, the birth of this podcast. So that's who I am, and who this is brought to you by is, of course, StayDownLA. I currently don't have any, I guess you could say, collaborations. We don't have no sponsors and stuff like that. So I currently sponsor this whole platform myself. This is an all personal investment. Anything that you guys see on the StayDownLA page, StayDownLA Fitness, everything is all brought to you in part by me, Kadus Edu, and K-Saxy, all under the StayDownLA umbrella. And the StayDownLA umbrella is my brand. StayDownLA is basically, or essentially, a brand that I created that encompasses all of my ideals, my mindset, and the motivation that I just keep going or use to keep going, which is the fact that I'm staying down for the come up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm staying down for now. I'm being patient. I'm not rushing. I'm not comparing myself to anybody. I'm just waiting for my time, because I know by staying down, by being patient, that the come up is inevitable. That the win, the light being at the end of the tunnel is going to be there as long as I just keep going. Instead of just looking for a reason or looking for quick validation, the StayDownLA mindset is the mindset of knowing that patience and hard work and dedication all come together and all are required to foster that success or that goal that you're looking for or working towards. So now that we got the mini introductions, now we got the promo out the way, let's get into the prayer. Of course, the most important part of each and every episode, which, of course, if you guys go to the first episode, you guys might not hear a prayer then. I didn't always know how I was going to, you know what I'm saying, frame it. But now that we got it, the most important part of the episode, of course, the prayer. So, Awussallah shaitanir rajim, bismillahir alhamdulillah rabbil alamin, maliki yawmiddin, iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, ihdinas siratal mustaqim, siratal ladzina an'amta alaihim, ghayril maghdubi alaihim waladdallin. Amen. Allah, I just want to thank you so much for waking me up today. Allah, I just want to thank you so much for another opportunity. Allah, I just want to thank you so much for this platform. Allah, I'd like to thank you for all of the supporters that you brought to me. I would like to ask that you continue to guide me, continue to protect me, continue to give me good health, continue to give me a good mindset, continue to give me good spirit, good energy, and I pray that you pass this on not only to me, but also onto the viewer, onto the listener, onto the supporter, onto my family, ranging from my mom, my dad, Mashud, Malik, Arafat, Saniki, Adeoye, Uncle Bayo, Auntie Joke, Noah, Idris, Uncle Ade, the family that I mention my name, and the family that I don't mention my name. I also want to give a very big shout out to my angels that are in heaven looking down on me. My grandmas on both of my parents' side, my grandma on my dad's side, my grandma on my mom's side. You know, in Nigeria, we don't mention them by name, so that's why I'm like, my mom's mom, my dad's mom. You feel me? I gotta mention them very respectfully. Latif's mom, you know, my auntie Bosse, Latif himself, Kalila and Elliot. May you guys please continue to rest in peace. May you guys please continue to guide me and protect me and watch me from beyond. And I just want you guys to know that not a day goes by that I don't think about you guys, and I don't wish that you guys were not by my side. but I know that life is how life is supposed to be, and I wouldn't want it any other way. Of course, you guys know what I mean by that, but so far, I'm enjoying it, and I'm very grateful for how it's meant to be. Thank you, Allah. Thank you so much for the viewers. Thank you so much for the supporters, and thank you so much for this platform. As that you continue to protect it, continue to allow it to grow, and overall continue to give me the knowledge and the energy to protect it. And overall, like I said, like I always will say, I don't pray to not go through anything, Allah. I pray for the emotional stability and emotional intelligence to be able to handle what I go through and to pass it on to anybody that's listening to this prayer. Inshallah, mashallah, ameen. Thank you, Allah. So now that we got the most important part of the podcast out the way, now we can get a little bit into the business, or I guess you could say what I like to do. I've been doing it for at least the last couple episodes, but I guess you could say the overview of what today's episode would consist of. So sometimes I decide if I'm going to do it via weekly recap first, or if I'm going to do the movie review first. I feel like the best thing, or what I've noticed to be the best way to do it, is just being the weekly recap, as some days are longer and some days are shorter, but it's just easier just to get out the way. So we're going to start off with the weekly recap, where I just tell you guys what I've been through from last Thursday up until this Thursday. And if you guys do not know, I record the podcast on Thursdays and upload them on Friday. So when you're seeing it, it's going to be Friday, but we're talking about from last Thursday to this current Thursday. So that's what we're going to do with the weekly recap. As far as movies and TV shows, I recently seen the movie Michael with Jafar Jackson. Amazing time. And then we got a couple things from Instagram and Twitter that I want to talk about, you know what I'm saying? Just some of the Klay, Thompson, Megan and Stallion issue that I've been seeing. I don't know what's going on. You know, it's like, it might be the incident. Cause I'm like, I don't know why all of a sudden I'm getting like this cough. But yeah, generally speaking, as like I said, I do have somewhere I'm going to today. Might not be as long of an episode, but we'll see how it goes as we get through these topics and get through everything. So first off, I just hope you guys are doing well. But as usual, we're gonna get straight into it. Not gonna waste no time. So starting off from last Thursday, after I finished the podcast episode, I essentially just recorded it, went straight to taking a nap that day. After that nap, I, landscaped, edited the video, uploaded it, had it ready, and then ended my night with some Panda Express, If you guys know anything about me, I fuck with Panda Express. So Panda Express, get at your boy, holla at me. Then on Friday, I decided to update my Disney Pass so that way I can have more availability to be able to go to more days, basically, because I had the one that I had was the California one, basically, so I updated it to like a standard one, but it might just be for the year, and we're gonna see how it is, because the one I upgraded it when I upgraded it, I just paid straight out the way, and it was like a $400 upgrade, so I just paid that out the way. But now it gives me more time, more availability to go, and I have more reservations that I could do. So I ended up doing that on Friday, and I also turned in my final paper for my 30/40 class. And then, so basically I was trying to figure out what I should do, because, I'm finna get into it, but, overall, I just decided that it's instead of me saying fuck going to Disneyland, that was definitely the wrong choice for me. I'm definitely back in my solo bag, because as soon as I talk about somebody, they just do some blick shit at this point, because I really don't know what to say. And this is not a diss to anyone. It's just, like I said, I just keep realizing that I'm probably better off just being to myself. You know what I'm saying? Because quite literally, on said day, it was said, honestly, we'll get to it when we get to it. But just know, the reason that I said I wasn't going to these places before is no longer a reason anymore. And I'm not even going to, I'm cool. I'm overly good, because at this point it just seems to be like a common occurrence. And I was just thinking about it in the shower. I said, maybe I just don't know what I want. Maybe that's just why I just keep half-assing. You know what I'm saying? I got this 1 foot in, 1 foot out type energy, and it's like, oh, I keep thinking I want this, but as soon as I get it, I get nervous, and it's like, okay, well, clearly, you know, like I said, God, I feel like has been very instrumental in doing it to where I feel like I haven't even had to have like a personal hand in it, but it's just been a common thing where I've just been noticing. It's just like, yeah, I just be talking to someone and it'd be like a cool vibe, and then out of nowhere it's just like it's to the point where now, and I think that's why I'm low-key okay with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm low-key like cool off of it, because like now it's to the point where I'm anticipating like, when is the day me and this person gonna stop talking? Like I just imagine it now, because I'm like, it didn't happen too consistently now, too consistently and too recently. You know what I'm saying? For me to be like, okay, I could overlook it. Like now it's like, okay, well shit. The next person I might talk to, it might just be one day we talking good and I never talk to this person again. Because the last person was like, dang, I thought I had more time. I thought I had a little more time, but I guess not. Because essentially, by Friday, I literally was like, you know, I think I could just, you know, plan for my own thing, because as a guy, like I said, when I'm single, I do it up for myself, but I don't need a girl just thinking, oh, I'm finna do it up for both of us. Like, nah, I ain't there yet, and you haven't earned it yet, respectfully. So that's why I was like, nah, I'm finna be on my own shit. But I'm like, nah, clearly I need to just do me. So this Friday or that Friday, I decided, you know, it's because even though I updated the pass, I still had blackout dates, so I couldn't go that day. So after I ensured my 30-40 class assignments were done, basically make sure that, which is funny because it was like I assured that I was at 98% completion with that class. Now, by this moment that I'm speaking, I'm 100% completion with the class, but at that point, I was turning in my final paper. Even my professor was like surprised. She was like, dang, you fast. And I'm like, sis, if you knew, I really wanted to turn it in early, but I'm like, you know, it's just timing thing. So I'm like, nah, me personally, when it just comes to just getting work done and just having my freedom, if I can get my work, if something's due on Sunday, I'm gonna try to finish it on Monday. Then I could really do whatever I want the rest of the week. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, nah, this assignment ain't due till May something, but we gonna finish it on April 24th for surely, for surely. And that's honestly when the Michael Jackson movie came out. So mind you guys know me. I see movies Thursday or Friday. I didn't go neither. I ain't see no movie. I went, man, no. What do you call it? Cereal, no milk. You know what I mean? No milk. And if you know, you know. And that's why I put it in my affirmations every time. No matter what you're doing, no matter what you're going through, no matter who you're dealing with, do your own thing always, because that's essentially what I even had to do today. Is like, I have a routine. You know what I'm saying? I have a schedule. I have a low-key an itinerary that even if I don't want to acknowledge that at this point it's set in stone, it's set in stone. To where it's like, even if I don't think about it, I just act on it. So for some reason, and that's not for some reason. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why I'm like acting as if my thought process don't make sense for it. I think it's just more so I'm more frustrated at myself for like, I'm always so quick to adjust and be flexible on my schedule and stuff, and then I always end up, like I said, I always feel like I always get the bad end of the stick, because I'm like, dang, here I was pushing myself back to do something so I could do something with this person, and then it just never comes through. And it's like, okay, well, you know, like I said, I feel like there's two versions of me. I could be the thirsty nigga, and I could be like, hey, are we still going to go do said thing? Or I could just be the mature, current me that I've been working to get to, where it's just like, okay, well, shit, you don't owe me nothing. I don't owe you nothing. I'm finna just be even more flexible and pivot and make a new plan. It's just always just funny because I'm just like, dang, if I went with that second version of me, though, from the first point, I could have probably saved myself all the trouble in the first place and still been able to get my things done, do my thing. It's just, I guess, and that's why, like I said, I think I just been out the game so long. I think I just assume I know, okay, this is how I'm supposed to play or be with these girls. But I don't know, maybe this generation is different because it don't seem like it's working. It just seeming like, yeah, hey man, just do your thing. Just do your thing. And if she wants to be involved, she'll make some effort, I guess, because I can make an effort to like I said, change my schedule, make availability for people, and then they be like, oh yeah, like we could plan something, and I'm okay. I don't mind planning shit because I'm like, if anything, planning stuff is actually more beneficial for me. It gives me more time to really set up and be prepared and like clear whatever's on my schedule, be ready for it. But then it's like, okay, well, we plan it, and then me and the person stop talking, and it's like, well, why we even plan it then? Or like, what happened? Like, what, you know what I'm saying? Like, what could have fucked up so quickly, you know? But then I send the homies a message, and they be like, man, maybe you're just talking too much. Like, maybe the reason you losing these girls is the way you texting them, because even in the messages, you can just see like, well, it'd be like one message, and I'll be like 2-3 messages, because that's what I said. I'm just so transparent. I don't have no issue just giving updates throughout the day. Hey, I just woke up. Hey, I just left the gym. Hey, I just do this. But now I'm just thinking to myself, maybe that's just too much. Maybe I'm just too much for these people. Maybe I'm just really, and I'm not saying people, I'm really talking about women. I just try to say it like that because you guys know I like to talk on here. I like to talk in mystery. I like to talk in word. I like to talk in, in phrases. You feel me? So that way, if hater listeners just listen, they can never just come here and just get directly what they want and leave. You have to be able to read through the lines and understand the lingo. But, yeah, just straight up. It's just, I think this last one is my last one for real. And I know, y'all know me. I say that one week, and then the next week I find a new girl, and I'm like, hey, I think I like this one. We gonna see. But as it is right now, it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna just start telling girls, yeah, I'm not looking for nothing serious right now. I'm not looking for nothing. And I'm Mr. Don't Pay for shit. Because maybe if I tell a girl that from the get-go, she could decide or not. She could just let me know, like, okay, like, yeah, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I'm not looking for. Because if I tell a girl I'm not Mr. Pay for shit, she's still sticking around, then I'm like, okay, cool, bet. Now I know you wasn't trying to get something out of me. But if I tell a girl I am, and that I'm not Mr. Pay for shit, and she leave me alone, okay, then I know she wanted something out of me. You feel me? Because, yeah, I'm not looking for nothing. I feel like if I tell people I'm looking for something, I get BS. So if I tell them I'm not looking for something, maybe I might get some good shit. You feel me? Only they don't, because this whole point don't make no sense. But at this point, on Friday, I'm not even fully even in this mindset yet. On Friday, I'm still hopeful. On Friday, I'm like, I still got a chance, right? Looking ass. On Friday, I decided, hey, let's go ride my bike to the beach. Let me go to the beach ride my bike. So, I've never done this path before, but I've seen somebody on Instagram, this guy that be doing workouts. He once ran from Griffith Park all the way to the beach. So he's really athletic, and I remember seeing him do his bike ride from Dockweiler to Venice Beach. But me not being, me just thinking, okay, all bike paths connect, and it's the beach. I didn't do enough homework into it, but it was one of those days where, it's not one of those days. Well, I guess you could say it's one of those days, but I'm having a lot of one of those days because, like I said, I know I'm free right now. So I just realized, I'm like, I got a little more time than I normally would, because most of the time when I go to the beach, I'm trying to ride my bike. I usually give myself a strict 1 hour window in which I do 30 minutes out, 30 minutes back. However miles I get done in that 30 minutes is whatever I do. Basically, however much I get done in that hour is what I just, I'm satisfied with, is what I get. So that's usually, for the most part, let's say 16 to 18 miles, I usually do 7 miles there, 7 miles back, 9 miles there, 9 miles back. So I usually do between 16 to 17 miles. Cool. Whatever. To give it more challenge or to just give me more room, I just sometimes start a different way. So usually, let's just say I go to the left. That's my normal pathway. This time around, I was like, let's go to the right. Going to the right, actually, I would think it leads to two different ways. So you go to the right, and there's a deeper right, and there's another left. It's going to make sense as I'm saying it, but it makes more sense if you just look on the map. So don't worry too much about don't worry too much about direction. Just worry about more of the explanation of the areas. So pretty much, one way leads to under the bridges, or I guess you could say under in the creek. Let's say one is a creek path and then one is a street path. So the street path is the connection to Venice Beach, but it must have just been a long time since I've been to Venice Beach or whatever, because I forgot, one, how many people be on the bike path, two, I guess because one, I didn't know how to connect to Venice Beach. So when I got out the bike path area, I came to like the streets and I was like, there's no way I'm supposed to just keep going like this. But I guess that's just what they expect you to do. They like, if you're going from one beach to another, they give you enough bike path to put you on the street that leads you directly to Venice, and then you just ride your bike all the way up there. Which, looking back, is like, okay, honestly speaking, I really can't complain at that, because if the goal is just to get to Venice Beach, they put you there. But I guess I was just assuming that there would just be one, extra out ass pathway that leads you to somewhere. Which, technically speaking, now that I'm processing it, it does. I think I just was over the path because I felt like I wasn't able to have the speed that I would like, and it was windy on Friday. It was a windy day, man. So I'm riding my bike essentially. I make it to Venice Beach. I kind of get there. Let's say, for example, I got the Strava right here, but I want to say I did 17 miles. Yeah, so I did 9 miles out. You know what I mean? 9 miles. Once I got to about what I felt like was 9 miles at Venice, or enough distance, I turned around, headed straight back, and I probably would have went further, but it was so windy that the resistance was just whooping my ass. And normally I could, pause. I could take it. I can handle it or not care. But this time around, I'm riding my bike and I'm over here struggling. Mind you, when I was coming the other way, it was nothing but smooth sailing. When I'm coming back towards my car, it's nothing but resistance. So I'm like, fuck it. I could make it. But I lose my, I guess you could say, my motivation, or I kind of like get a little bit helpless or hopeless when this guy just kind of passes me. And I'm like, oh, because usually when people pass me, I'm usually able to catch back up to him. But this guy passed me and I just couldn't catch back up. And I'm like, yeah, this wind is definitely whipping my ass right now. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to force this ride. I'm not going to force this out to be a super long ride just because I got time. If this is enough for me, I'm going to just be enough right here. Because I also plan on taking a chocolate and like basically just enjoying the trip. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing what I was going to figure out during this ride. So, and that's also, I guess you could say, in part, and why I have this confidence in my mindset and in my thought process of what I'm going to do with myself. Because I'm just like, when I take those chocolates, they allow me to go deep in my consciousness and allow me to really be able to see, what is it that you really want? Like, instead of what you think society wants you to want, what is it that you really want? You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, I think the best part about everything now is the version of me that I am is I'm so proud of this version that, like, at the end of the day, no matter how people treat me, I know that it has to, you know what I'm saying, respectfully. I'm not saying I just don't offend nobody, but I'm knowing how conscious I am of my choices and my actions and the things that I do and how I treat people and how things that I do can be interpreted. I can't guarantee how people won't take it, but I have a general good idea of it. That like when stuff don't go my way now, I'm like, it's okay, because I'm just like, I know I'm at a position where I'm like, nah, I'm at a better version of me. So it's just like I said, I'm just like, I feel that I might just be giving this version to the wrong people type stuff, Because essentially, like I said, I just go up on my bike ride. You know what I'm saying? I'm off the chocolate. On the ride itself, I'm having a great time. After the ride, I'm having an amazing time. I kind of wanted to go home, but I told myself, nah, get out your comfort zone. Stay at the beach. Just chill. Get some sun. Because sometimes I convince myself, or I guess you could say, I stop myself from exploring or doing things because I just convince myself, oh man, why would I need to do this here when I could just do it at home? But it's like, no, I gotta be in nature. I gotta get out there some more. I realize that if I don't make a conscious effort, I could easily fall into the trap of just being in the house every day, which is not a bad thing. But the type of person I am, if the only reason I'm going out of the house is just for the gym and for work, that's not a good look. I need to go out there and have a little bit of fun too for myself, But yeah, so after the bike ride, I was like, you know what? We could easily go home right now, but instead, we're actually going to go to the beach and actually enjoy a little bit of beach time. I have to use the restroom real quick, y'all. Oh man, I don't know if I could pause the stream, but I could pause the audio recording. Be right back. Gotta use the restroom. I think I will say, what? Sorry, y'all. Gotta make sure it's still recording. One thing I will say since making a podcast, I've been through a lot of embarrassing moments. I ain't gonna lie. Last week episode, I was farting. I'll be honest. I just keep it a bean. And now this episode, I had to use the restroom. Oh my goodness. And it's funny because when I'm watching Joe Budden podcast, I'm like, dang, they would to be able to sit here for like hours and hours. But I'm like, wait, they probably edit off camera and the stuff that they be doing and everything. Cause I'm just like, yeah, I just had to go. No kizzy. But I feel so much better. Feel so much fresher. And now we're going to continue where I was at. So essentially, like I said, once I finished the bike ride, I was like, let's just chill at the beach, let's not just be boring and just go straight home. Let's chill at the beach, listen to some music. So I found me a nice spot, away from all the families, away from all the people, because I just feel like when you're doing things solo, and maybe that's just what it is. Maybe the idea of just being on myself, I get so self-conscious about it that it makes it hard for me to do stuff on myself. But I'm trying to get back out of that. Gotta blow my nose real quick. Give me a second. Cause yeah, it's getting to that point, y'all. These freaking boogers and what you call it, all this mucus, just whooping my ass. Ooh, sorry, microphone. Hope I didn't get no snot on you. Ooh, man, this feels so good though. Like it feels good because before my nose surgery, I was not able to blow my nose. I feel like good. Whew, yeah. Nice and free. Now I feel like I breathe. So then, like I said, man, I just be by myself, as a black man. I just feel like it looks weird, I just feel like I'm able to get away with a lot more stuff when I'm having somebody with me. When I have a plus one or I have a woman with me. When I'm by myself, I feel like I'm super self-conscious about the choices that I make. I'm very aware. I'm like, I try not to be too nice to no families. Like, even though I know how to mind my business, I won't talk to nobody. I won't even, look at nobody. I just don't want people to assume that, I have some weird intention or I might be on some other stuff, because like I said, America's just so full of so many assumptions that I just like to just, before you even have to worry about it, I'll just be away from y'all. Like, you guys, hey, y'all be to yourselves, I'll be to myself. And it works out because, like I said, I don't mind being to myself either. I don't want to be bothered when I go out, you feel me? So, it worked out for your boy. Cool. I go to the corner, find me a nice little spot in the sun, put my blankets out, get my speaker out, get my music, get my speaker is my music, get my flask, put my backpack down, take my shirt off, and essentially just bask in the sun for an hour and a half. I want to say it probably was just only an hour and a half because I was trying to just chill there, but like I said, it was cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, yeah, I don't need that much time here, and maybe it's because I did the bike ride on top of it. I just probably went to the beach just the beach. It probably would be different, but because I went to the beach, did the bike ride already, that was an hour. I only needed an hour or so on the actual beach itself. It got me an hour, listened to some music from the In My Feelings playlist. The chocolate had it hitting different. Had me really, had me in the feels, shed a couple tears, thought about a couple people that's not here no more, rest in peace on my angels, and was just really, really thankful, really grateful for the position I was in, and that's why I was like, it was the start of that mindset, just yeah, bro, nigga, you finna graduate, you almost finished with this freaking, degree that you've been working on, this should be a moment of celebration, but I keep being in this perpetual state of, worry, because I'm so scared of, the AI checker trying to just ensure that I get all A's in the semester, but it's I know the work that I put in is what I get out, and the bike ride is an example of that. My life is just an example of that. So when it just comes to other things, I need to just be a little bit more relaxed. So that's why I was like, nah, relax, do this. I've been actually wanting to, like I said, if you guys been listening, like you said, I'm talking to myself. If you guys been hearing my podcast, I've been mentioning I need to go to Palos Verdes and just chill out and just look at the view. Need to go to the beach, just chill at the view. I've been needing to do this, so I'm actually glad. I actually am really glad I got it off my list, and I kind of scratched that itch that I've been, ignoring. So after that, I went to Stormburger, got me the same order that I got the last time, but it was weird. It was really weird because I'm on my way to Stormburger. No issues on the way there. No issues getting my food, anything like that. I'm landscaping on the way there. Cool. The issue, I guess, in my opinion, came when I got there and for some reason, usually when I go to Stormberger, it's one lane, but this time around they had 2 lanes. No issue. It's like McDonald's, 2 lanes they made to one. There's 2 cars on the right lane, and then like 1 car on my lane on the left lane, but like the 1 car is finished. So I'm from my knowledge, it's usually left, right, left, right. We do 1 car on one side, we do another car on the other side. For some reason, when I got there, and I don't know, maybe like I said, maybe because one side ordered quicker than the other, the girl that was taking the order decided to skip me and take the order of the lane that she was already working in, 2 people. So she did 2 people on the right side, or I guess you could say her left side, and I was just a little bit taken aback because I'm like, I was here and parked up in time. I had my window down and everything. Like, I don't know what she could have used or said that, like, oh, maybe what, I wasn't ready to order. I was very much ready to order, but she decided to order. And that's what I'm saying. Even me saying it, I'm like, it's not a big deal. But it is a big deal to me because I am very pretentious. I'm very, I feel like people do things they're aware of what they do and they're aware of why they're doing it. So I don't know what beef she had with me, but she decided to skip me over, and I ain't gonna lie, I had to calm myself down and just remember that, like, man, I'm just grateful that I can even afford this food right now, and I don't even have to be in her position because, boy, I was just like, I could have mentioned, I could have been like, hey, well, what's up with that? But I was like, you know what, let me just get the menu. She was like, you eat the menu? I said, yes. And I used that to calm myself down, picked my order, took my time with it, gave her back the menu, got my food, and was on the way home. And then after I was on the way home, I stopped at Rouse to get some cookies and some ice cream. After I get home, put the cookies on to bake. I'm so smart. I got the freaking whole method now. So what I do is I get home, put the bake, get it nice and preheated, put the cookies to be cooking, and then cook them and bake them, let them sit, be chilling. And as they're chilling, I'll be eating my current food. So the dessert will already be ready for me by the time I'm done with my dinner. You feel me? So simple day, but enjoyable. Then on Saturday, this was a very active Saturday for your boy. And it was, in part, my fault. Because I just, like I said, I have a routine, have a goal. So usually I try to do at least 1 run per week, 1 bike ride per week, and 3 gym sessions. So that's at least 5 workouts. So at this point in the week, I've done 3 gym days, 1 bike ride. So, I needed a, what's funny? Did I go? I did go to the run club. So I ended up going to the run club on Thursday. So I already did a run that week, but I don't know why I forgot to mention it. But that Thursday, I did really good. I did really good on my run. Sorry about forgetting to mention that, because I'm like, this is about to be my first run. No, actually, this is going to be my second run. Like, I actually went because, like I said, I'll be going to the Keep It 100 Thursdays, 3 Mile Thursdays, and then I go to the Keep It 100 Saturdays, and then I go to the Hold Us Fit Saturday. So it's like I always got a different run club to go to on a Saturday if I wanted to, So went to a run with them on Thursday, but on this Saturday, I could have went with the Hold Us Fit Run Club, but they were doing a hike, and part of me was like, I don't want to hike today, I want to run. So I decided to go to the Keep It 100 Sister Dreamer Saturday, because every other Saturday is when it goes on. So basically, at the top of the month, let's say for example, the first Saturday is the Sister Dreamer. The next Saturday I would go to Hold Us Fit. The next Saturday I would go to Keep It Sister Dreamer, Hold Us Fit. So it technically could have been Hold Us Fit this weekend, but like I said, it was hikes, and I was like, nah, I want to run. So, and I made a good choice in that too, because essentially when I got there, didn't run to it this time around. I drove there, but I got there a little late. Drove there, got ready, parked up, and everything like that. And it wasn't, like, I guess you could say the pacemakers weren't really out today, because I actually had a chance to kind of like lead the fold, and it was actually really dope because I think I did a good job, because essentially got there. Let's go to the Strava, see what my stats were actually like, because there's actually a woman that I actually want to mention that was like part of why I feel like I even did good. Not to say part of why I did good, but it was a really good, run overall. But yeah, so Saturday, the 25th, my third fastest 2 miles. It was 3 miles, average pace 7 minutes and 43 seconds. Moving time 23 minutes and 12 seconds. And the person that I was running with was this lady named, Emily Pollock, she is a goat. I ain't gonna lie. Like, she was like moving. She was moving that day. And I thought it was so funny because me personally, like I said, I don't like to put, at least now, like I said, I don't like to put pressure on myself when I'm running no more. I like to just, like, I want the run to be enjoyable. I really want to have fun when I'm on it because I feel like if I'm working too hard, I'm going to get tired faster and I'm end up slowing down. So I like to really enjoy it. So they got to a point where, like, I'm on the last part and I started having fun because I'm like, I'm the runner's highest hit and everything. And now to see Miss Emily just, like, out of my peripheral just passed me up. And I remember we got to a light and, the light didn't even change yet and she just started taking off. And I just always find stuff like that funny because I'm like, I take it as a compliment. I feel like the person felt the need to, like, they're like, yeah, this nigga is moving so much, I gotta get a head start on the next takeoff. And I'm like, I respect that. Like, for me, I'm like, that means I'm moving really fast. And if anything, like I said, it allows me to slow myself down and be like, okay, cool. The fact that I can't even achieve that speed, let's get back to a comfortable speed. Then, like, let's just finish strong. You know what I mean? Like I said, the real maces, like the 5Ks, the 10Ks, the half marathons, the moments like that, the full marathons, for sure. How strong I start is how strong I'm gonna finish. But when it comes to these workouts, it's a workout. So my goal is to build up the stamina, build up the energy, get stronger, get faster. So it's never about, I'm never trying to burn myself out every workout. You know what I mean? I feel like if I do that, there's no point. Like, I feel like when I have runs like this, it shows that I could run fast. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't need to have to run fast each one. Now it's like, complete each one and complete it in a nice, decent speed and a comfortable speed to where, like I said, I could be increasing my strength, because, man, I'll tell you guys, the way I'm running now compared to when I started, mind you, it's still less than a year, it just shows how I feel like consistent my improvement has been, because, yeah, I mean, faster pace than usual. Even my freaking, my athlete challenge says, solid 3-miler at a faster pace than usual. Nice work out there. You crushed your 3-miler with a 7:43 pace. That's noticeably faster than your typical 8:08 pace over the last month. You spent most of your time in higher intensity zones with 77% of the run in tempo effort, which explains why your heart rate stayed elevated around 165 BPM average. Your relative effort of 39 is right in your wheelhouse, so you nailed the intensity without overdoing it. You're on a solid 6-day activity streak, and this run fits perfectly into your pattern of mixing shorter, faster efforts with longer weekend runs. Your splits show you came out strong and actually picked up the pace as you went, finishing the last mile in the VO2 max zone. Keep riding this. And essentially, is what I was just saying, just in a more polished version. With the workouts that I've been doing, mixing in the short, fast runs through the week, and then do long runs through the weekend, it allows me to just keep increasing my strength. Because generally speaking, if I'm doing a short run, like for example, I always go to the gym, I always do 10 minutes of cardio. So if I'm doing 10 minutes of cardio and the cardio happens to be the treadmill, I always try my best to do like as fast as a mile I can, but I'll still do the whole 10 minutes. So I will put the speed of it at like a 7:30 mile, but I'll still do 10 minutes. So the goal is like, let's get that, whatever the number of run, whatever it says I should do that mile in, I always try to do it like that. After I reach that, or I reach a little bit after, most of the time I don't get it, because sometimes I ain't gonna lie. Whenever, if it says the mile is gonna be done at 7:31, you low-key gotta start the treadmill already at that speed. But because, the treadmill, you gotta kind of work your way up. I feel like I'm usually, let's say for example, I told you guys this before, 1 second in a race could really, you could really gap a nigga. Like that 1 second it takes you to catch with somebody could easily add up to a lot of space between, and that person can only be 1 second away. But like just that 1 second that they just passed you, it could like really put a gap between y'all. So with what I'm saying essentially is that with that 10 seconds that I'm wasting, or not wasting, but like preparing to get into my run or to get to that 7:30 pace, I'm already losing 10 seconds off of it. So I'm probably going to get it at 7:41 now instead of the 7:30, if that makes sense, like whereas if I start at the 7:31 right out the gate, I probably would be able to get to that 7:31. But that's pretty much what it's saying when it says, me mixing the shorter runs, those are the shorter runs because I only do 1 mile there. essentially, if anything outside of the gym is always going to be, at least from now, I don't think I've done well besides when I went to Rogers with the homies. Every run I do now outside in real life, like on trail, has been 3 miles plus, and I'm like really proud of that because, man, I don't even think that's what I'm saying. I'm not really like a runner. I'm a runner now, but I was at the time. I was not that. This version of me was not even like thought of, you know. But then right after that, I made my TikTok. You feel me? Did my stuff over there. Came home. Did my journal, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my nigga Butter. Shout out to Keep It 100. Shout out to Stormberger. You know, shout out to the beach. You feel me? And everything. Because I'm like, I want to make sure I don't miss those shout outs. Then, a shout out to Prudence because literally, right after the Keep It 100 Run Club was over, I had a field day. It was the first annual field day that Prudence was hosting. So shout out to Prudence, shout out to Precious, and shout out to all my Nigerian peoples that I ended up meeting that day. You guys were all so dope. Everybody was like so dope. It was such an amazing time. But pretty much we had a group of us that we got together, you know, college students, you know, doing our thing, and we came through and played some field games. Started off with like a relay race, but I guess before I even get there, essentially this is just why I guess you could say my day was so active, because right after the run I had to go get dressed and get ready for the field day. As soon as I get dressed, I head out to the field day. Wasn't too far in the driving distance, so I get there. You know, a little tired from the run, but not realizing it at the time. Get to the field day, noticing that I'm hungry as fuck though, and I'm like, ooh, I'm trying not to be greedy, but I'm looking at these snacks like, ooh, I can't wait for us to eat. So I'm like one of the first few people to get there, so essentially help set up. You know what I'm saying? If you guys know me, I have no issue setting up parties. I have no issue cleaning up parties when it's people I know. It's just my own thing. I don't think I have the energy to like host and all that stuff. But if it's someone that I know, I don't mind being a part of it. I don't mind being a part of the committee. So let's get there, help set up. Prudence pulls me to the side, lets me know like, okay, this is what the relay game is going to entail. We're going to do 3-legged race, to a wheelbarrow, to a cup stacking, to a 5-second or 5-spin race. And that, it sounds complicated, but it was actually pretty simple, you know, to get through. So essentially, I was on the yellow team. The yellow team, I ain't gonna lie, we did our thing, but at first look, we thought we were overpowered. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really thought we had all the athletes on our team. But the pink team definitely did not come to play. The blue squad, we didn't really go, like, I guess you could say our arch enemies was like, yeah, it was the blue. It was for sure blue. Because I was like, the pink team, we were arch enemies at first, but throughout the day and throughout the games, we ended up having to collaborate with the pink team. But essentially, we started off with the relay race, did our shit, and we technically should have won, but just due to some technicalities, we ended up losing. But we won one of the rounds. So we won one round, lost another round, wasn't really too hurt over it. But we was just like, damn, like it just let us know, like, okay, this is going to be serious. Even my nigga Timmy pulled up to it too, so that's how I know it's really a good turnout. So after that, we ended up playing, I want to say, Tug of War. And the Tug of War was essentially the precursor to flag football. Tug of War lost horribly. I have no issue admitting that because I freaking dang near I did burn my hand. I got rope burn. And my foot got a cramp. Like, all these workouts and stuff, it's definitely been catching up to your boy, because the way my freaking foot, like the bottom of my foot started cramping up, boy, I didn't want to deal with no pain like that ever again. Ooh, thinking about it right now, like, it's to the point where I try to purposely activate the pain so I can get it out the way, because I'm like, yeah, maybe if I let that cramp come and go, my leg could go back to like resetting, because my mindset is that if you get a cramp, you can't get another cramp for a long time. So the reason that I haven't been letting these cramps just come through, so I just don't want to deal with the pain. You know, cramps hurt a lot, you know. So I just been trying to avoid it. But I'm like, maybe I just got to just, one of these days, just go through the cramp. Just let it just happen. And just like go through the whole process so that way it could reset for my body. But essentially, we lost the Tug of War. And then we went to, after this, though, I ain't gonna lie. So after the Tug of War, we started playing flag football. And this was the last game that I could say I was taking actually kind of seriously because my team, like I said, they were competitive as fuck. So I had some people. I was definitely not the quarterback. Let them know from the get-go. I do not know how to throw football, so I was lucky enough to not be in a position like that. But I was the first person to get the first catch, so that was really dope, you know, because I was like, low-key prior to this, I kind of underestimated how tough it was to catch a football in actual motion and in actual game. And I definitely had to say being a football player is not as easy as it's picked up to be or kicked up to be, because we were playing flag football, and mind you, flag football is not tackling, so we just essentially just gotta pull a nigga flag. So all I could think of is that, damn, if I was playing real football, niggas would really be able to tackle me. And just the amount of, I guess, thought process that goes into a football game is just, I guess, what I realized that day. Like, there's so much you have to consider. You have to think about, okay, what route am I running? Okay, am I going to be open on this route? Okay, who's defending me on this route? Okay, can I get this nigga off of me on this route? Okay. Is the quarterback going to be good? Okay. Is the quarterback going to be good enough to pass the ball to me? Okay. Is the quarterback, when the quarterback passes the ball to me, am I going to be able to catch that motherfucker? Okay. Is it when I'm going to catch it, am I going to be able to get to the touchdown? It's just so much that you have to, and I'm like, dang, like, you got to already process this shit kind of quickly. I was like, man, I kind of underestimated this. I thought it was, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you just think back on, like, man, I used to play this when I was younger. I used to do this when I was younger. You think of it like, yeah, this used to be a breeze. Nah, flag football, think about it, I'm like, nah, flag football has always been a difficult sport. Because I'm like, yeah, sheesh. It was no joke. Like, we really had to put some work in and enjoyed every second of it. Because, like I said, my team, I got lucky enough to be on the team that, like, had a good mixture of women and niggas that cared enough about the team and that were willing enough to put in the effort to where we had a really good game. We won, like I said, we won one flag football game, lost every other one, but it didn't matter because there was not that many that women went on. But, you know, essentially I got a touchdown, you feel me? And then somebody else got a touchdown as well. Or if I didn't get a touchdown, like I said, I at least got a catch, you know what I'm saying? I at least help, you know, get a nigga to a touchdown. And then after the flag football, we played more tug of war. Then we played kickball, and kickball I don't know if it's because of the amount of people we had. Kickball ain't never been this freaking cheese, bruh. Because there's no way that, like, I'm telling you, bruh. Let's just put it like this, because it's just so much detail that I would have to give to, like, really go into detail about the whole thing. But, like, I can just summarize it like this: we didn't win not one game, and I pretty much didn't get a good kick, because every kick that we would do, any kick that went straight in the sky essentially was getting caught. And any kick that went, like, towards another area, like, the only way it was getting off was, like, kicking towards the girls. And I'm just call it spade a spade. Like, whenever we kicked the ball towards the guys, the niggas was catching the ball. And it was just so annoying. I'm just like, damn, bro. Like, we got into this perpetual state of being stuck between first and second base. My group, we just, for some reason, we couldn't get to third base. Like, every time we would kick the ball and it was time for us to get to third base and get to home base, the ball would always go in the direction of third base. So the person that was on second base would always be so nervous or too nervous to make an attempt to come, because they would be worried, I don't want to get out. But then by them staying there, they, you know what I'm saying, you inevitably put yourself in a position to get more out, because now it's like the first base can't go to second base and the second base will go to third base. Man. So that's why, like I said, after the football game, even my nigga Favor, he said, yeah, that's the last game I'm taking seriously, because at that point, it was just like, I wouldn't even say luck. It was not even about luck or anybody, like, being lucky or being better than others. It was just like, it was just, man, that's what I'm saying. I guess you could just say they were better equipped. The team members they were better equipped for, like, a kickball game, and we were better equipped for a flag football game. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there were certain games where certain teams were able to really shine and, like, really highlight their skills and highlight the group dynamic. And it was just really cool, you know what I'm saying? And it's just always cool for me, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, just meeting new people, you know, being that I feel like I'm always so quick to just be to myself. It's always just nice, because I feel like like I told you guys, since leaving Saks Fifth, I thought it was just going to be just me, but I've been meeting a lot of new people. Like I said, I've been outside. I've been actually popping out the plots and everything like that. Been with the fam, you know what I'm saying? Hanging out with the family more, you know what I mean? And just overall just becoming more of a more noticed member, I guess, outside, you know? Instead of just, like I said, trying to be invisible. Even though I'm still invisible because, you know, it was even, I'm not going to say it yet. We're going to get there. But, you know, not bringing too much attention to myself, but still being in the places where I can be noticed and stuff. And it was so funny. I find this so funny. I have to mention it because I just thought he was just so funny for this. So, this guy named Chuck, or I'm sorry if I pronounce your name. I did get his name, but of course, naturally, like I said, I wasn't saying it the whole day, so I forgot it. But essentially, there was a point where we was introducing ourselves to people, and he wasn't on our team. But this guy comes up to us, and mind you, I'm saying mind you, like you guys don't know this, but mind you, I hang around with my nigga Ruchi. Ruchi is a musician, and he's an artist. Long story short, Ruchi's been telling me, like, nigga, you gotta have that artist mindset, and you gotta carry yourself like the artist that you are, or the creative that you are. If you consider yourself K-Sax, nigga, when people ask you what's your name, you tell them K-Sax, and you tell them with confidence. So, when I'm in certain environments, I'm always, like, kind of torn. I'm like, yeah, in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, my name is Caduce, but I'm like, like I said, on paper, I'm K-Sax, you know what I'm saying? Like, real life, I'm Caduce, but on paper, and sometimes in, like, certain avenues, I'm K-Sax. So, sometimes I'm like, you know, if it's a professional environment, say Caduce, but I'm like, if I'm in a cool place where I'm just chilling, or a place where it's like, I might have my chain out, I'd be like, I say K-Sax. Not thinking anything of it besides thinking of it where, like I said, with my inner turmoil about it, but I freaking, say what's up to this gentleman, and mind you, I don't know, maybe it's because, I don't know, maybe I didn't say it with enough confidence or what, but I kind of was, like I said, I was telling people my name is Caduce, but then something just told me, I was like, you know what, you know, none of these people really know you. Like, you can tell them your name is K-Sax, and if they ask you why, just tell them you're a rapper, you know? But I remember this one guy, and I thought it was so interesting because, like I said, as a psych major, I peep behaviors and I peep patterns, I peep stuff so fast. And it sucks because me and him ended up being, not to say cool, but he ended up being a cool guy, you know what I'm saying, respectfully. But in this moment, I was low-key, like, I guess you could say, turned off from him, off of just the interaction, because I just felt like, why question me? You know what I'm saying? Because, and maybe like I said, it might not even be like a personal thing. It might be because of how he was raised and his background. Because, I don't know if he said that's the name. What's the name yeah, I think he said the name that your parents gave you. But, like I said, I know he was trying to be funny. I know he was trying to be funny. But, yeah. And which is even funnier because what I end up finding out will make the whole thing kind of ironic because it's like, what? So I essentially was like, oh yeah, nice to meet you, brother. My name is K-Sax. He was like, K-Sax? And he's like, that's your name? I'm like, yeah, I'm a rapper. And he was like, oh, okay, like, well, what's the name like your parents gave you? And I was like, oh, Caduce. And he was like, okay, Caduce. So then the person next to me, he says what's up to him too, and he's like, oh, my name is this. And then he was like, oh, is that your rap name too? And I was like, in my head, I didn't laugh at it, but in my head I'm like, you thought that was funny? You know, like I said, if I know you, we can make jokes all day. Well, you can call me whatever. If I don't know you, it comes off a little disingenuous because it's like, okay, you wanted to get some laughs from him because I said I'm a rapper. I'm not lying. Like, there's no cap in my rap. You feel me? So it's like, in my head, I'm like, are you saying, like, was that because, what, you think a nigga not for real about this shit? It's cool. Like, I don't got no reason to prove myself to nobody, but I was like, okay, whatever. But I peeped that. So when he did that, I was like, you know, I don't know what that was for, but interesting. It let me know the type of person he is, you know, because like I said, that's, respectfully, that's woman shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, girls do shit like that when they be like, oh, the girl be like, oh, yeah, you know, I do makeup. You know what I'm saying? The little makeup you be doing. Like, it's just slick comments. And I'm just like, but I don't know. You didn't have to give me a slick comment. Like, just because you don't think I'm a rapper, that's okay. You know what I'm saying? But to, like, try to make it a little inside joke, like, oh, that's your rap name too? Like, come on, fool. No. But, yeah. So, like I said, that, I just kept it in the back of my mind. You feel me? But literally yesterday, because like I said, I ended up getting the Instagrams of people that I ended up following that day. This gentleman that was on my team going, like, that took the game very seriously. Shout out to Bami. He's very competitive. That nigga does not play. And shout out to him too because he still showed up despite going through something serious. So of course I'm not gonna talk about what he's going through, but he was going through a lot and he still came through and showed out. But shout out to Bami. Bami posted a story and was like, had a song playing in the background. And I noticed the person in the comments looked like the guy that I talked to that day. Come to find out, the nigga that made the comment with me, he's an R&B artist. He's an R&B singer or R&B artist. Well, he's a musician he's an artist. Like, he makes music. He makes songs. But I thought he was a rapper. But then when I went to his page, it said R&B. So I'm like, okay, clearly you make music. If you make music and you seem like you take your music pretty seriously, why'd you have to give me a slick comment when I said I'm a rapper? You know what I mean? Like, I just thought that was just so funny because I was like, I don't know, but I think it's just the ego thing. You know what I'm saying? Of just probably like, he probably just feels like he's more established. I guess whatever. Or it might just be, like I said, just a pissing competition of like, nigga, I thought I was the only artist here, and now hearing that you're an artist is like, I never heard of you. But it's like, respectfully, I never heard of you either. So it's like, we're literally in the same boat. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't gonna, I don't know. I just, like I said, I just find it just so ironic because it was like, you make music, and I told you I'm a rapper, and that would have been, like I said, he's very well established. And once his bro page, he got more followers. Like, he's like, I do my research. So when I read a page or I do my homework, I'd really do my homework. So I'm like, brother, I would have, not to say supported you, but like, I would have gave you your kudos. You know what I'm saying? But after you do that to me, I just feel like shit like that rubs me the wrong way. So it's just, luckily for me, like I said, because the rest of the day went, it didn't end up leaving a bad taste in my mouth because it's like he ended up being a really cool guy, being a cool sport. It was just one of those, I was like I said, what was the point of that comment? I don't know. Like I said, clearly, I remembered it because I just thought it was so funny. It was really just irony because I'm just like, bro, we're in the same boat, bro. Like, I mean, you trying to make it and support you trying to make it out the hood in your avenue. I'm trying to make it in the hood my avenue. But I guess that's what I was saying too. In a sense, I feel like I have a different outlook to people trying to do their shit because even the people that's trying to just get in the gym, I feel like I have more patience for them too, whereas somebody else won't have patience because, like I said, I went through life at a point, let's just say 2 years ago, where I was just like super egotistical, super ego driven, super like, nigga, I know it all, and I'm like, I live life the most righteous, not righteous, but I live life, like my path is the way that niggas, like I was on some shit where like, if y'all not doing it my way, y'all not doing it right. So after getting out of that and then realizing, like I said, even me thinking that I'm doing it right, I found people doing it even more efficient, even more better ways that I could even improve my way. I had to get on my own ego because it's like, you can't keep thinking you're the best at everything when there's literally niggas better than you at the shit that you think you're the best at. So relax. So since then, I've been trying to be, humble. I got a slice of humble pie. So that's when I seen that, I was just like, that's the reason that to me, I'm like, okay, well, maybe if I had went that route where I already blew up, I might not have that same understanding or appreciation. So I'm actually really glad that I haven't made it yet, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Because it lets me realize that, like, yeah, bro, like, nigga, even if I made, I wouldn't look to somebody that's trying to make it like that. Even if I wasn't gonna fuck with them, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if it's on shit where it's like, nigga, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear none of your music. I don't want to do nothing with you. But I would just, you know what I'm saying? Someone tell me, I'm like, oh, bro, keep going, do your shit. That's what I'm saying. I would have did what he did too. He'd be like, oh, I probably would have mentioned I'm a musician. Because if I know I don't want to work with you, we don't got to work. You do, I got to work. I'm not one of those guys that, if I'm a rapper, you need to listen to my music. No. But maybe people are used to that, I'm always trying to get someone in and out because I don't always think everybody got the most amount of attention. But like I said, when people do jokes, when people are trying to be funny, you was for joke. You might not have a lot of attention, but you was trying to be slick. You feel me? So I always gotta acknowledge that. But that was just literally really funny at that. Essentially, literally, the field day was going to be from 12 to 5. We literally stayed there from 12 to 5. And after that, I went to get some birria tacos. But because of the weekend before, I had some fire-ass carne asada tacos. I decided to get some carne asada tacos at my taco truck. Bad decision because it just, I don't know. Honestly, it wasn't a bad decision. I don't know how to really explain it. It was just one of those things where maybe the cut of meat, maybe the cut of asada was just different because the asada that I got that day that I enjoyed it a lot was more like a steak, was more steak-ish. This was more asada-ish in the sense like I had more chewy parts and everything. Still was good. I even put in the birria, because I essentially got 6 tacos, 3 regular carne asada tacos, which was only like $7. So let me know that, like, yeah, the birria is where the money's at. The if you want to save your money, just get you the regular tacos. So when I take a girl out to get some tacos, I'm not doing birria. We just gonna do regular, so that way I can save my money. Ching. But then yeah, got the birria, got the regular. Went home. I actually had another event. Shout out to my Uncle Ade. So I came home thinking that I was gonna get dressed and go to my Uncle Ade's house. But by the time I got home and got dressed, me going to his house was gonna make going to the event it take longer to get there, or so I thought, because I assumed that we were all going to get to the event on time. The event started at 7, so I was like, by the time I got home it was like 6 something. I'm like, nah, if I go to my uncle's house, I'm gonna be late, and I still got a landscape, like, nah, it's not worth it. So I decided to landscape, and I told my uncle I'll just meet him at the actual event, and I went out there. But by the time I got to the event, and by the time I landscaped, and mind you, because like I said, I already had the tacos with me, I said, you know what, I might as well just eat my tacos here. Decided to eat the tacos at the house. By the time I went through all that, I guess you could say the tiredness of the day had eventually weighed on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the energy and effort that I put into doing everything finally started hitting me, because I got to that event and boy, I was tired. I was just so tired. Like, I can't even express how tired I was, besides saying that halfway through me being there, like, I'm only there for like 30 minutes, and I'm like, I think I'm finna go home, because like I said, my uncle, it's his event, but he kind of was like, he's like the supervisor, I guess you could say, of the event. Like, he's just making sure it goes good. He doesn't need to necessarily be there the whole time. But that's why I guess I was confused. I'm thinking, well, then I'm thinking, like, where you at then? But he showed up fashionably late, So while he's doing his thing, I ain't gonna lie, like I said, your boy is kind of like done for. So I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I'm like, dang, should I leave or should I go? But I was like, no, let me just go to the car. And my mindset when I get in the car, like, whatever I think, we'll just go from here. So I get in the car and I said, should I just kind of like sit down and relax a little bit? I'm like, you know what? My uncle's not here yet. I see his location. He's still like 20, 30 minutes away. Let me just close my eyes a little bit. And if, depending on, like, I was like, I'll give him like a time limit. Like, if he gets here within the next hour, I'll stay the rest of the thing. But if he doesn't come, I'll be like, hey, I pulled up. I came, I saw, and I conquered. But I ain't gonna lie, the tiredness got me and I left. So I essentially take me like a little 15-minute nap, 20-minute nap. But you know me, or if you guys are just now knowing me, all the Scorpions know me. But if you don't know me, whenever I take my naps, if I have an itinerary, generally speaking, I'm not taking that nap. But if I don't have nothing going on, I can take that nap. But because I knew in the back of my mind, I partially need to be, I guess you could say, awake enough for my uncle to let me know he's here. I couldn't go too deep into the REM sleep. So essentially, I just kind of like took like a little fake nap or whatever. He calls me up. He's like, where you at? Where you at? I'm like, oh, okay, I'm here. I literally come out the car. No, I ain't gonna lie. I lied and said I was landscaping in my car the whole time I was taking a nap. So when I told him that, he's like, oh, shit, I'm finna pull up on you and, landscape with you. No. So by the time he came to my car, I was actually taking a nap. So when he came to my car, he was like, you done already? I just had to say, yeah. I was like, yeah, I finished. But whole time I was asleep. And I'm just like, yeah. I damn it was finna go. But I knew, I said, if I go without at least saying hi to you, that would be kind of foul. So I stayed, basically had a drink with my uncle, Steven, shout out to my uncle, shout out to Steven. Had a drink with them. After that, they stayed there for like, let's say 30 minutes to like 45 minutes. And then there was another plot nearby, shout out to Noah, that Noah was also supervising. So I just decided to drop them off at that next plot. And then I went home from there. And then, did I even get no food after that? I mean, because I know I had some food that they gave at the event, but it was like kind of cold, so I didn't eat that. But I came home, made some cookies and I ate some rice and stew. Didn't even eat the rice and stew for real, because I literally ate like a bite of it and I went straight to sleep. So I can't complain though, because literally that Saturday is like the way perfectly how I would have wanted to execute it, in the sense of like being able to do everything that I wanted to do on my list. the issue I have, or I realize, is I gotta landscape at the right times, because depending on when I landscape, or depending on like just how much I do throughout the day, I'm gonna be tired. You know what I'm saying? So it's just more so like, if I do something in the morning, take a break in the middle of the day and then chill out for the night. Or if I do something in the morning and then do something in the middle of the day, I gotta not go out through the night. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Or like I said, I end up at that position where it's like, okay, cool, I just don't utilize too much energy at each one so I can last. But it's hard to not use energy when it's a workout. You feel me? So yeah. So then, yeah. After that, you feel me? It's Sunday now. You feel me? Sunday, it's always reset Sunday. Woke up, got to business, did my laundry, uploaded my videos to my YouTube channel, scheduled them on Instagram. After that, I was just literally eating rice and playing the game all day till about 5:30. Then I took a nap, woke up and got dressed because it was bowling. You feel me? Bowling Sunday. So then I went to bowling and pretty much was there till like 11. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Peju. Shout out to Hold His Fit Run Club. Shout out to Temmie. Shout out to Courtney. Shout out to Sir K. Shout out to First Lady. I'm trying to remember the names that was on the bowling thing. But yeah, essentially your boy went bowling and I did okay. I don't want to say I did bad, but pretty much got there at 7:41. Got my first drink. It was a Hennessy and lemonade. You feel me? I was really off that all day. So on the first time it was K-Stacks, Tally, Ify, Peju, Afi, and Isaac. Then on the second court was First Lady, Court, Bisola, Danny, Big Daddy K, Big Daddy Tim, or Big Daddy, that was Temmie, pause, and then Sir K. So that was the first match. I was on Team 21. I won that first match. Oh yeah, and it's so cool because I had my medic glasses on. So essentially everything that I did is like recorded from like first point of view. So let's see how this. Well, honestly, this is not the time to be trying to watch my videos. You feel me? But yeah, the score was pretty much 130 on the first one, and then everybody else like kind of was like, below that. That's funny. Whose hand was that trying to cover the score? Temmie. But then yeah, so then after that, I don't know what happened. I just lost all my freaking game because essentially I played with girls the first one, and then the next one I played with the homies, and the homies was just going crazy. So the second game, it was this is third game, I'm pretty sure. The second game was K-Stacks, Z Money, Zay, Leak, Temmie, and Bailey. Yeah, I want to say that was the second game. And then let me see, 20. Okay, no. Cause yeah. So the second game I did horrible. The second game I did really bad. I don't know what happened, but I ended up like coming like, I want to say like 4th place. Yeah, I only got 62, and Sir K, Mario's brother, ended up winning. So he had 107, I had 62, and then Zay came second with 105. So second game, tanked it. Third game, I kind of tanked it, but I guess you could say I came back second because I was cool till Zay came back and like just did his thing and just ended up winning by 3 points. So I was at 104 by the third and final game. But I ended up messing up because I missed the last few ones, and it was over with. Because by the time I'm looking at the video right now, he ended up having 105. So essentially that is how the night went. After after the nice game of bowling, went home. But I had to stop and get me something to eat. So I stopped at Wingstop. I stopped at Inglewood. Stopped at Wingstop. Got me a 8-piece of some, regular buffalo hot, and I got some spicy Korean barbecue, and I got some honey covered, I don't forget what this is, but hot honey dust powder for my french fries. Tore that up, you feel me? And I ended up having the rest of my night. Then on Monday, and it's funny because I literally did this while I was there at the fucking at the bowling alley. I set myself a fucking Disney day because I was like, yeah, I could have went this last one day, but I freaking decided not to. And this whole time, like I was telling you guys, the reason I wasn't going to ended up not being a reason anymore because for some reason by this weekend, I just stopped getting hit up from them, and I just thought it was confusing to me because it was kind of like you guys didn't know about this because I didn't want to talk about it on here. But prior to this, something similar happens where I'm texting somebody. We say that we're gonna go see a movie, and then me and the person end up stop talking before we said we were gonna see the movie. But we already planned a day to see the movie, and then the person stopped texting me. So I'm just like, am I supposed to text you? Am I supposed to like what? Double text you, quadruple text you? Hey, I said we're gonna go see the movie. Hey, you haven't replied to me. Hey, you know what I'm saying? No, because I feel like as a nigga, I would feel so fucking stupid, right? If I fucking text somebody that hasn't been responding to me, and then the moment I text them, they didn't respond. Because then I'm like, what was you doing? Why did you wait? If you knew you wanted to talk to me, why did you wait to talk? You know, and it's never like, I'm saying this in a position where it's like, I'm always the last person to text somebody. I just noticed that. Like, I'm always the last person to text somebody. Even if it's like, we ain't been texting for a couple hours, I always feel like, respectfully, and that's why I got a little frustrated, I ain't gonna lie, because I literally told this person, I said, I like to treat people how I want to be treated, and they mentioned, I'm the same way. Then what happened? I don't know. People be like, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't get it. Don't tell me what I want to hear. Just do what I want you to do. Like, at this point, I don't want you to even tell me, because people just be talking. I'm gonna just wait for action, because like I said, if we're just going off of how I treat people how we want to be treated, that's why I was doing what I was doing. I was like, okay, following up, giving updates, making sure I let them know. And then, you know, that's why I was like, okay, well, shit, this person, quote unquote, treat people how they want to be treated, but they haven't responded to me. What do you want me to do? Call them, do this? Like, for me, I'm like, if we got to that point, I'm okay. But I'm like, bro, I barely know you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be that thirsty, bro. And then, like I said, I always, you know, I think of the future. I think of longevity. If in the beginning I'm already having to have this difficulty, or I'm going through this, you know what I'm saying, just I guess you could say, just to even put my shot up, what am I going to have to deal with when I actually get you? You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I have to, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, the beginning is always, in my opinion, like a trailer for what you're going to get in the end. And I'm like, I don't like this trailer. I don't like this preview. This preview, I'm like, this is the preview. I'm not fucking with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, damn. That, like, everything was cool during the week. The weekend comes, and it's just, the energy just falls off. Come on, fool. Mind you, I was trying to see the person during the weekend. That's why I'm like, I be so confused. I just like, I don't know. I'm very intentional, and I guess I get frustrated because it's like, but I guess I don't, because this is why, you know, when women always love to say, don't tell me you're gonna do something if you not do it. This is why I don't tell y'all no more, because I think when you tell someone, that's what I'm saying, like, in a sense, it's like, let me see, are you here because of what you think you're gonna get, or are you here because of you really fucking with me? So that's why I don't tell people what I want to do for them, because it's like, I don't want them to possibly be like, you know, I wasn't gonna fuck with this nigga no more, but he said he was gonna do this for me, so let me just stay it out. No. I'm gonna just be, hey, just assume I know the right things to do, and then put me in the time limit to do so. I feel like for me, right, when I just start talking to a new girl, it's like a 2-week time limit. If I don't take you out on a date within 2 weeks of us talking, you don't gotta fuck with me no more, because clearly I'm not taking you seriously. But I don't tell them, you know what I'm saying? Like, I won't tell them, like, oh, like, unless I know we're finna go on this date, I won't say anything about it. So I know, okay, for example, this weekend I'm busy, I won't even bring up, like, oh, what are you doing this weekend? Because it's like, if I know I can't take you nowhere, why would I even say something about it? So if I know, for example, when you're busy, you're doing something, I'll wait till the next time that you're available or I'm available, then we'll plan it. Because I always just feel like I said, sometimes when you plan stuff too in advance, there's a better chance it might not work. Let's get closer to the day, you know? I thought I did the same thing here. Didn't work, but in my opinion, like I said, I guess it works out for me because I didn't talk all that shit and then not have to follow it up. So because I never got a chance to talk shit, it didn't really matter to me. But it was just one of these where I was just like, dang, here I was again, ready to, in a sense, like I said, not saying this person had any issue or is their person's fault, but here I was ready to be flexible. Here I was ready to switch the routine. Here I was ready to, you know what I'm saying, include you into my day to day. And once again, I'm left wondering what happened, you know what I mean? Because like I said, here I was ready to do my thing. You guys know me, Thursdays is my movie nights, but I'm like, you know what, I actually want to go see this movie with this person. This person told me hold off on it because they're going to go do it with someone else. The person they were going to do it with, though, is of a guardian figure, so I could never get mad at that. So I was like, hey, cool, whatever. In my head, I'm like, I could go see this shit myself, but I'm like, the person made it sound like they really want to see it with me. They're like, well, I'll see it again with you and everything. Then all of a sudden, just crickets. And it was like, okay, well, would I be dumb if I just wait for this person to like let me know? Okay, they said we're gonna see the movie together. Let me wait for them to let me know. But then I'm like, I don't want to be desperate and then message them like, hey, can we go see the movie or not? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, fuck. I could have just went. I could have just did my own thing. So that's why I just be like, let me just stick to my shit. Let me just stick to myself. And if somebody's gonna be on my type of time, they're gonna be on my type of time. But like I said, my affirmations, no matter what and who you're dealing with, do your own thing always. Because now I ended up having to see the movie on Tuesday, which is not an issue, but it's just one of these where I ended up pushing it far back from me. And you guys know me. I'm very particular about my movie times. If it's not a good movie time, we're gonna have a bad time. You feel me? So on Monday was just straight Disney. Normally, when I go to places like Disneyland, I usually try to go to Disneyland and do other things. But I was like, you know what? I haven't had a chance to really just be here all day and just really just do my thing. So I dedicated my whole Monday to just Disneyland. So I woke up, was kind of hesitant about it, but I was like, you know what? Nah, fuck it. I'm just gonna go. So I woke up, made my TikTok for the day, did what I had to do, did my journal, all that good stuff. I might as well just read right here. Happy and blessed Disney Monday. Woke up early enough, but I was stalling, BSing because I was trying to keep the normal routine. After I stopped caring about the execution of the day, I felt more freedom. I got dressed, went to the liquor store, landscaped, and then I headed to Disney. I didn't even go get no food. I just went straight to Disney. After I made it there like at 8 something. I made it there at 9 something. I stayed there till like 8 something. Took a break between my trips. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, I was lit. Had to, regurgitate a little bit, but I recovered. And essentially, I don't need to really tell you guys all the rides I went on. That would be doing too much. But I started off at Disneyland, and I basically did all the most popular adult-ish rides, you know what I'm saying, before taking a break, and then going to California Adventure. After California Adventure, I pretty much was like, yeah, okay, I think I did what I needed to do today. So then after that, I wanted to go to Cheesecake Factory. Sorry guys, but my stomach is currently acting up. It's so weird. It's so weird. Hold on, y'all. It's like, what did I eat yesterday? I woke up and I ate. I'm trying to figure out what's got my stomach just acting up so bad, y'all. I'm so sorry. It's so embarrassing. But be right back. Be right back. But don't worry, you guys know in the final product I'm gonna edit it out. Make sure you guys don't have to worry about none of that nasty stuff. But essentially, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the mac and cheese that I ate yesterday, because I did eat mac and cheese. Got some mac and cheese from where I'm about to tell you guys that I end up going. So I wanted to go to Cheesecake Factory and do the steak Diane pasta. There's this shrimp scampi and steak Diane that they have on our menu, and it comes with mashed potatoes. But you can upgrade it to get some linguine pasta. I was looking so forward to it, but I did not do my due diligence, and I did not make sure that Cheesecake Factory was going to be open after my Disney trip, because by the time I got to my car, it was 9:46, and Cheesecake Factory closes in 10 minutes. And one thing about me, when my day is over and I'm on the way home, I'm landscaping. So I'm like, well, by the time I landscape and get to Cheesecake Factory, I'm probably not going to be able to get a table or be able to order. So let me not waste my time with that. Rather, I decided to just go to Bossa Nova. And I even took it one step further. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to eat at Bossa Nova. I'm going to just get my order to go, and I'm going to just go home. So I made it to Bossa Nova, did a to-go order of some, kebab. It was off the grill, kebab with double plantain and some mashed potatoes. And I also did an order of some macaroni and cheese with chicken. And I also got 2 dulce de leche still stuffed donuts. But it's not a donut. It was like a beignet with dulce de leche. It was really good. But I essentially got all that. Then I went home. You feel me? And that right there was a 100 out of 10 day. Monday, highlight of my week so far for sure. And this is about to be another highlight because I love amusement parks. You feel me? But to be able to go to Disneyland myself and be able to get on all the rides that I want to get on, well, not all of them, but get on the majority of the ones I want to get on and be able to be at peace, be able to run my business, be able to afford everything I want to afford. It just, like I said, you guys know I'm all about convenience. Like, I needed that. I needed that moment just to be able to be to myself, because I'm just like, yeah, this is what I like. till I'm at this point, I'm just, hey, like I said, if somebody can't get with it, because I don't need to chase. I really don't. That's why I hate that though, because I'm like I said, I'm not a sassy nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a nigga that doesn't want a girlfriend. I'm not a nigga that doesn't want a girl. I'm not a nigga that even expects a woman to come and court me. No. Let me be the one to, you know what I'm saying, shoot my shot. But give me the court to shoot it on. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, at least engage with a nigga. If you're not going to engage with me, I'm going to just leave it on, because like I said, in my head, I just feel like, I guess maybe that's just my feminist mind. I feel like women don't need niggas, and women don't need to be bothered. So if I feel like I'm a bother, you know what I'm saying, or I feel like I'm intruding or doing too much for a woman, I'm okay with just leaving her alone. I say this all the time. Like, a girl could reject me. I'd much rather her reject me. And I was gonna say, I would much rather her reject me and give me a reason than for her to just leave me alone. But in reality, I'm at that point where I'm like, I'm getting so used to it that it's like, it is what it is. But that's why, like I said, for me, it's like, I'm gonna keep having my days. I'm gonna keep having my good times, you know what I'm saying, and keep doing me shit until someone wants to get on this. And like I said, it might be my ex's fault, because she put me in a position where I even go to freaking Disneyland. You feel me? Because I wasn't going to none of this shit before, you know. But shout out to her still. And then Tuesday, I actually ended up going to go see. I say Happy Taco Tuesday, even though I didn't go to get them tacos. But Happy and Blessed Taco Tuesday. I woke up and didn't want to go anywhere for the workout, but I couldn't just be lazy. So after setting up my plan for the day, because what it really was the Disneyland day whipped me so badly. Like, after that day, I was so tired. Like, I did 10 miles that day. I had so many steps that, like, I forgot that this is why I'm always so particular about when I go to Disney, because I know the next day I usually use it to recover. So I woke up and I was like, nah, man, not gonna go to the gym. But it's Tuesday, I go run with the run club. So I woke up, made my plan for the day. I started getting my day started. I prayed, brushed my teeth, and I was doing my homework. As I was doing my homework and I was chilling a bit, my auntie Joke pulled up. Shout out to my auntie Joke. I talked to her for a bit before I ended up hanging out in the yard. After my chill session, I came back inside and did some more homework. Started texting the homie Devin, and I'm not going to talk about nobody else, because it is what it is. But started texting the homie Devin, and I started texting, basically was going to go see the movie Michael. And then I ended up seeing the movie Michael at Cinemark Carson. You guys know me, Carson K. But went to go see that movie Michael. Got some Chick-fil-A as well. And then after I got that, went home. Because as I seen Michael, was done for the day with that. You know what I'm saying? Got that movie list off my list, you feel me? And then I went home, changed real quick before I went to my run club. This is my first time going on a Tuesday. And it was definitely different from Wednesdays. From Thursdays. Tuesday is not more different in the sense of like intensity level. It's just the group, I guess. You know what I'm saying? The group dynamic. Because on Tuesdays, you have the option from doing 2 up to 6 miles. So me, naturally, I'm like, I gotta do the 6 miles. Why not? You know what I mean? So I come on a Tuesday, get there a little late and stuff, but you know, I still make it there on time. And then essentially, yeah, you know, I just run with the run club. And then after about mile number 2, I guess you could say after mile 2.5, I ended up just kept going straight, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. I know he had a plan that he said, but I couldn't figure it out. So I just decided let me just go straight out for 2 miles, and then just come back for come back for 2 miles. That'll be 4 miles right there, and on top of the 2 I just did, that'll be 6. So my goal was like, if the goal is to just do, if the total that you could do is 6, as long as I do my 6, I'm cool. So I just did that, came back, but I ain't gonna lie to you guys. After the Michael Jackson movie, I've been feeling like Michael Jackson, him. You know what I'm saying? I've been feeling real MJ. You know what I'm saying? Ever since the movie, so that was really nice and everything. But yeah, and then of course my Wednesday, simple Wednesday. You feel me? Just went to the gym, and then I was just doing my homework for real. So Wednesday, I just woke up and got right to business. Did my prayer, did my journal, after which I made a movie review, and after which I went to the gym, Hancho drew an AMG pics. After that, I landscaped, and then went to Rouse. Then I got some McDonald's and made it home. And after which, I ate my food and took a nap. After my nap, I woke up and did my homework. Then I landscaped again, came back inside, streamed to GTA, and then after about an hour, I went to bed. Good day, good night. Simple, straight to the point. That's just like that. So now that we got the weekly recap out the way, we can now get into the Michael Jackson movie, the 2026 version, the 2026 version, 2020. You know what I mean? Understand. That was starring Jafar Jackson. So that's why it's so funny. You would think it would just be ready. But yes. So Michael is, so right now, like, I mean, honestly speaking, it's usually different. You know what I'm saying? Usually when I say, or actually no, yeah, because this doesn't change anything. I was gonna say, me watching on Tuesday, I was gonna say, does that change it being a spoiler review? But it's still, yes, it is, because yes, it's still a spoiler review. I don't know why I was thinking that y'all would be able to see it before this comes out, but no, I'm tripping. But yes, Michael, 2026, PG-13, 2 hours and 7 minutes. It is a docudrama, period drama, psychological drama, showbiz drama, biography, drama, history, music. It is the early life of the famous musician Michael Jackson, known as the King of Pop. And then, yeah, we have Jafar Jackson as Michael, Nia Long as Catherine Jackson, Coleman Domingo as Joseph Jackson, Giuliano Valdi as young Michael, Jaden Harville as young Jermaine Jackson. You know, they had a lot of Jacksons in here, pretty much, you know. And pretty much, yeah. According to you know, news and everything, the movie essentially was going to originally the story, this is the storyline. The story of King of Pop Michael Jackson, from his childhood as the star of the Jackson 5 through the times of abuse by his father Joe Jackson, to breaking away and making the hit album Thriller and claiming his independence as a solo artist. Yeah, so that's pretty much what the movie was really about. I actually got there a little late, so I wasn't able to see the actual beginning. But the part that I seen, essentially he was making a song. What you call it? I'm gonna say no. What you call it? What is it called? I don't know why I can't. Don't stop till you get enough. He was making this song. So yeah, by the time I got to the movie theater, essentially I was at the part where he's making "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough," and essentially, like I said, the movie was originally going to be, I guess, more specific, more detailed, more of a entire glossary of his whole existence, you know, and his makeup as an artist. But due to legalities and like the ability to speak on certain things, they had to go back to the drawing board. So the finished product that we end up seeing on the screen is essentially the version that was basically allowed to be in production. So I have to say that in the sense of, because I feel like that should, I mean, not saying it's a fair, it's not a cop-out, but if that's the case, I think then we should be satisfied with what we get then, you know what I'm saying? Like, if knowing the fact that like, they could, basically saying, we could have had the real story, but they said legally we couldn't talk about the real story. So we gave you guys a real enough story, you know what I'm saying? And if that's the case, I got no issue with that, because I really enjoyed the execution of it. Like I said, as a Michael Jackson fan, I went in there because, like I said, because I didn't see it on Thursday, I didn't see it this weekend, I was able to be, not to say persuade, but I was able to hear people's opinions on it. And the common occurrence or the common theme I was hearing was that it's mid, but that people aren't saying how they really feel about it because, you know, it's Michael Jackson. And with that, I was like, kind of like, I ain't gonna lie, you guys know me. I'm a really critical reviewer. I'm a very honest reviewer. So I'm like, damn, like, I respect it. You know what I'm saying? I respect that people aren't shitting on this movie, but I hope it is good because, you know, I fuck with Michael Jackson at the end of the day. So essentially, yeah, I feel like people kind of, I feel like they kind of shitted on it a little bit too hard, in my opinion. I feel like it wasn't that bad, you know? And I'm saying this as somebody that literally shits on movies that be trying their best. But for someone, I guess because, like I said, for the theme and for the context and the content in the actual movie, it's a Michael Jackson movie. You know, you can't reinvent the wheel. if we're being honest, like, if anybody's going into it expecting them to, if you're going into it expecting to learn everything about Michael Jackson, you're probably doing yourself a disservice, because it's like, there's so much information out there that if you really want to do your actual homework, that's like I said, maybe because I'm an actual researcher, right? As an actual researcher, you should be able to know how to see what's real, what's not, and what's just propaganda. Some people can't do it, so I don't, recommend this to everybody. I know it's not going to be something that everybody could do, but if you're someone that I feel like could actually do your own research, if you actually want to learn about Michael Jackson, it's not that hard, you know what I'm saying? And if you, like I said, if you're not someone that's going to be, that wants a biased opinion, that wants to just hear, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you're not just after scandals, it's not hard to learn about how hard and how freaking dope Michael Jackson was. But if you're after the scandals, if you're after reasoning, or if you're looking for, I guess, the explanation onto why he might have did certain things or why things went the way it was, this is not the movie for that. This movie, like I said, is like a dramatization. You know when they say actor portrayal? This is an actor portrayal of what I feel like they assume Michael Jackson must have been going through during these moments. Which, in my opinion, I guess this is me speaking very definitively, but of course, I'm always open to opinions. I'm always open to other people's perspectives. But I generally feel like this was a really good representation of what I feel like is an example of, or I guess a look into the mindset and the mind state that Michael Jackson might have actually been in these moments. Like, for me, the way that Jafar Jackson, the way that he really encompasses the emotions, the way that he really encompasses the essence of Michael Jackson, his uncle. Like, imagine that. You having to play your uncle, bro. The way that he was able to really embody the role of Michael Jackson to the point where, like I said, I had to remind myself, this is not really Michael Jackson I'm watching on screen, but this nigga, he looks and it feels like he's Michael Jackson, bro. That's why I'm like, if anything, it made me kind of feel bad for the impersonators, because it's like, I kind of get it now. You probably can't wear this nigga's shoes and just take them off and feel the same after. You probably become Michael Jackson and you probably like, you know what? I really am Michael Jackson. It's official. You probably start talking soft like this, and you probably really just get into a point where you just perpetually just can't get back to the regular version, because once you embody that aura, once you become him, I'm sure it's just being a regular guy just probably don't hit the same no more. You know what I'm saying? Being Jafar just probably is probably hard now, because there's no way. Like, I'm telling you, I'm watching this movie, and like, even at the moment where he's just like in the studio, the way that I'm like, and mind you, like I said, this is an actor portrayal, so I'm like, the way that I was convinced, I'm like, yeah, this is how Michael Jackson must have been in the studio. Like, niggas was just, he had Quincy Jones just over there like, yeah. And I ain't gonna lie, that's probably the only thing I didn't like. I didn't like the weird, like, and like I said, as a nigga, I'm probably, sometimes, like, and that's what, like I said, this is why I really respect the Joe Budden podcast, because like I said, they say what I feel like most people be too scared to say. I didn't like the weird tension between, I feel like, Michael Jackson and other males in the movie. Like, I feel like they kept making them seem like a little, and maybe my opinion, I just feel like Michael Jackson is a real nigga, you know what I'm saying? So, in certain scenes, it just came off a little like, he's too feminine for me. Like he kept coming off like, I don't want to say it but you know what I'm saying, I don't want to put it like that on Jafar, but it would just be like weird little like tension. Like, even when like the way Quincy would like be looking at him sometimes, like, can you do this for me? Yeah. And it was like the weird smiles, and it's like, like, nah, bro, like, this is two guys, relax on that gay shit, y'all. Like, this is two niggas we talking about here. This is Michael Jackson. He probably get way more pussy than pussy could fucking pussy. Like, relax. Give my nigga a little more, you know what I'm saying? But if the goal, like I said, because for me, as a psych major, I really like the execution of the effects of PTSD. Like, the way that they had Michael Jackson behaving due to the fear or the retaliation that he was worried that he might get from his father, spot on. Like, I really enjoyed that aspect. I really like, because I'm gonna be honest, I related to it. You know what I'm saying? There was a time in my life where me and my dad were not seeing eye to eye. unlike Michael Jackson though, I wasn't doing what my dad wanted. So there was a time in my life where, you know, like I said, maybe it's just a Nigerian thing, but we're taught to fear our parents. So for me, I didn't realize how it looked on the outside, that fear. Like the way that Michael Jackson, there was one scene where Joe Jackson is basically telling him like, oh yeah, Michael, we're going on tour. And Michael just pretty much was like, talked to his people, was pretty much like, yeah, I'm finally ready to do my own thing. Like I don't think I'm ready. Like I'm ready to do my own shit. But every time it would come to a point where it was like, because like I said, around other people, Michael Jackson would be like, yeah, y'all, I don't want to work with my dad no more. And I'm going to tell him I don't want to work with him. But the moment it would come down to like actually telling his dad I don't want to work with him, he would always, you know, give the task to somebody else. Like let someone else be the one to break the news down. And I thought that was so dope and so real because I'm like, you know, that's how it is for me. Like even something when I'm going out, I'm like, man, Mom, you tell Dad I'm going out because he can't say nothing to you, but he can say something to me. And for some reason, I feel like I can't listen, you know. And I feel like that's why it's so interesting because I guess you could say I see both sides of the coin because there's people that out here that are like, just because your parents do all that for you doesn't mean you gotta listen to them always. But from my Nigerian ass perspective, I always feel like, well, if my parents did all that to sacrifice for me, the least I could do is listen to them. Like, and that's why I feel like Michael was always like, not to say obedient, but that's why I always feel like he did it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's like, I feel like he always appreciated and always respected his father's sacrifice, regardless of how his father might have treated him, regardless of how his father might did him. Because he probably knew that deep down, like, yeah, while my father probably probably couldn't go about the best way, or didn't know the best way to go about, you know, showcasing his want or his in a sense like his need to want to make his family a success. The reasoning, or I guess the motivation there, was always pure in a sense. Like he just wanted to see his son and see his family be a star. He wanted his family to be good. You know what I'm saying? He wanted money. You know, at the end of the day, because like I said, for me, and that's why, like I said, I'm like, I had to take Joe Jackson. I was like, yeah, my faults is not that bad. Like, and that's not me saying that I never thought my dad was that bad. But you know, when you in those positions, you're like, dang, this guy's mean. I'm over here like, you know what? Maybe my dad's not that mean after all, because I don't even think my dad would be on some shit like that where it's like, nigga, you gotta do this tour, you gotta do some shit like that. I'm like, no, if anything, my dad, he always like made sure to like, and let me understand the emphasis of like why he's going so hard or why he's has so much passion, because he's just like, bro, I just want you to be successful, you know. And like, you know, it's just one of these where maybe had I been like Michael and a little more obedient, it'd probably be a different story, you know, because either way I got the PTSD. Either way I'm scared to be, you know what I'm saying? Either way I don't look this man in the eyes during certain conversations. You feel me? So it is what it is. But the music on point, 10 out of 10, and you guys know I do a scale of 5. So me saying a 10 out of 10, it means it was really good. The cinematography, amazing. I love the visuals. Like I said, the way that they would do the lights sometimes, it was like you was really seeing Michael Jackson, bro. Like, shout out to the makeup artist, shout out to the makeup department, shout out to everybody that like essentially helped Jafar become his uncle. You guys did a superb job. I have no complaints. I have nothing more in that regard of like visually that I would complain about. It was just like I said, certain scenes that I was like kind of awkward. Like the secret word today is bubbles. Yeah, like just scenes with his monkey, that just seemed a little unnecessary with me. And then finding out that, like I said, you have to be able to do your research, because if you just go in that movie and you just leave and be like, everything in that movie is real, okay, bet. You're going to be really confused when you go and find out that, like, yeah, the monkey didn't come around a little later. So, like I said, it was a dramatization, you know, like, and this is not a slight to Lifetime Movie Network, because if anything, me comparing them to this is actually saying that you guys are like the standard, but it's like a Lifetime movie where it's like, we're here to just get the good, you know. We're gonna touch on some bad, but not too much bad about the person at hand. More so bad about the situation, but really we're just here to really talk about the good and then some of the ugly, you know. But essentially, I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I'm definitely gonna add that to my rotation of movies because it was really good. Like, that's a movie that I would watch again. Like, that's a movie that like you gotta add to the collection. You feel me? So, and it's one of those things where, you know, like I said, for me, when I don't get to see a movie when it first come out, I kind of lose interest. I did not lose interest in that movie. The same excitedness that I wanted to watch it when I first seen it, I still had. You feel me? So that was really good. So yes, and with that, I know you guys might be like feeling that this grade that I give it, but with that, I give Michael Jackson or Michael a 3.5 out of 5. And I feel like even with that, you know what I'm saying, it kind of shows that I feel like even with that, it kind of shows that like, cause like for example, like right, the name being Michael should kind of already tell you what the movie's gonna entail. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you guys are expecting a, you know what I'm saying, like a whole deep dive into the whole family, probably not. Cause like I said, if the name of the movie is Michael, I take it as the focus is going to be on Michael. And if in that regard, the movie did hit on all cylinders. You know what I'm saying? It did hit and it did do what it was supposed to do in that regard. So that's why I'm like, I can't complain. I enjoyed it, and you know, I definitely recommend it. You feel me? So now I'm gonna tell you guys about some of this Instagram stuff that I've been seeing, that I've been wanting to talk about. And then we're going to end the episode right there because we're about to hit the 2-hour mark. Like I said, you guys, I gotta go to Six Flags today, so I'm not going to be on here as long as I would like to. But it's not an issue because, like I said, it's still a 2-hour episode. So, you know what I'm saying? We do what we need to do. So, if you guys do not know, Klay Thompson and Megan Thee Stallion have announced, or Megan Thee Stallion had announced her split up from Klay Thompson. If you guys do not know who Klay Thompson is, he is a basketball player that plays for for Dallas Mavericks. Yeah. So he plays for the Mavericks, and he was dating my crush, you know what I'm saying, my wife to be, Megan Thee Stallion. And whilst dating her, I'll be honest, because like I said, you guys know me, I keep it a bean on here. You know me, I'll keep it a bean, I keep it a whole thou out. I really fuck with Megan Thee Stallion. Like, I really fuck with her. Like, as a guy saying that, I feel like I really fuck with her. So, like, her image, I never, you know, like I said, I feel like for me, I have a different perspective when it comes to women and sex, you know, than other niggas, because I feel like other niggas might still be in this mindset or this, I guess you could say, this belief that, like, niggas might, there's probably still niggas out there that think that women don't want sex as much as the niggas do. And for those niggas, good luck. But like I said, after the last year and a half semester that I took, not the year and a half semester I took, but after the last semester that I took with this class of sex and gender, and the last year and a half that I had just with women, I've been more inclined to believe this because for some, like I said, some girls just be want to fuck, and I'm just put it like that. And hey, if you're the guy that she just does that with, don't be surprised. You know what I mean? In a sense of like you know what I'm saying? She's only a hoe to society, you know? She just probably just want to get her off too. But the difference is, you know, women are the ones getting cracked. So it's like, it's not the same. There's still going to be a different standard in that regard. But I've always felt like I've accepted, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that it matters to me whether or not we got to accept her. You feel me? Gotta be very careful about my words. She doesn't need my acceptance at all. She doesn't even know who the fuck I am. But I've already was, you know what I'm saying, confirmed in my belief that, like, yeah, Megan Thee just, you know, she's just free. She's sexually liberated. Like, she's clearly okay with doing what she wants to do. But, you know, as a guy, we know, it still hurts. To hear that. You feel me? Nobody wants to ever imagine a girl that, like, having sex with other guys. It's just a guy thing. It is what it is. As much mature as I am, I still hate it. I still hate that shit. So, she gets with Klay Thompson. And like I said, in my head, I'm like, hey, I hope he knows that she's very, you know, she's very confident. She's very proud of herself. So if you expecting a girl that's gonna be dainty, gonna be shy, don't be looking for that, Klay. But it didn't seem like that at all. It seemed very, very early on and very clear that Megan Thee Stallion was gonna be the one to kind of like enter his world. Which in reality though, is the type of nigga you want to be. You want to be the type of nigga that, like I said, the woman comes through and she's like, I want to start, you know what I'm saying, contorting my way to be more aligned with you. Because I was just telling a homie this yesterday. I said, you know, there's relationships where, because like I said, the only reason I feel like, because I told someone, I said, I feel like the only reason it didn't work was because she was trying to change, or let me not say change, she was trying to align herself with Klay Thompson's lifestyle. Which, from what we've been seeing, like I said, as, you know what I'm saying, I don't know too much about Klay, but from what I've seen, he seemed like a nigga that just threw himself out the way. Doesn't really seem like he's into social media. Doesn't really seem like he's really into the antics, you know. And Megan Thee Stallion, she seems like she's very active. You know what I'm saying? Like, she got collaborations with True Religion. Like, she's very out there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even talking about sexually. I'm just talking about, like, just, she's very well seen. it kind of looked like you know what I'm saying? It kind of looked like, how did this even work? But, you know, me being a hopeless romantic, wanting to believe in love, I want everybody to find love, you feel me? So, I'm over here like, well, shit, I hope they last, you know? And then, like I said, I'm seeing Megan Thee Stallion do everything that she should be doing as a woman, as a wife. But in my head, I'm not even thinking at the time, I'm like, wait, that's not good, because it probably would be better off, you know what I'm saying? Like, it probably would have more hope for them if Megan Thee Stallion was still twerking, shaking ass, being all loud about saying how good her pussy is while with him. Probably would have given me more hope that they were going to be for real. Because, like I said, the fact that she was doing all that stuff to kind of like, all that stuff, you guys probably like, what was she doing? Well, essentially, she got cozy up with the family. You know what I'm saying? It looked like she was like ready to be his wife. You feel me? She was doing wifey behavior. And, you know, most of the time, you know, when women be like, don't do wifey behavior for a boyfriend, I'm usually like against that and stuff like that. And I'm usually like, y'all tripping. Like, how you want to become a wife if you don't do wifey behavior? In this situation, I kind of feel them. I kind of feel the girls, because I was like, maybe, just maybe, you guys should have probably just waited till you guys were really on the same page, or at least knew what each other wanted before you started acting how you was acting. Because essentially, it isn't like I said, from my perspective, and from the you know people like to say you can never assume a relationship from just a 60-second clip video. You cannot, but you could always still, you could use it to kind of like assume. You know what I mean? Like, you can still use it as a baseline. And I'm saying that to say that because of the fact that it's even posted, like, you know, not everybody's gonna be as calculated as me, but most of the time, like I said, people know what they're doing when they post something. So, granted, you can't tell the whole relationship from a small clip, but you could tell the intention by posting the clip. You know what I'm saying? So by her posting it, you could tell she was trying to show that, hey, I'm Megan Thee Stallion. I'm putting my foot in this, because I'm not. That's not a slight to her, but I'm putting my foot in this food. I'm making sure my man is happy. Nigga, I'm talking about. I see TikToks of her going on golf dates with bro, and I'm like, yeah, she in love. Like, in my head, I'm like, she seemed like she's head over heels for him. But in my head, I'm like, they just seem so opposite. I'm like, what was it? But for me, like I said, being a psych major, and like I said, this is me being in women's business. I will admit it. I am in women's business, and I know I need to stay out of it. But I was just like, you know, this is clearly a woman that has, or just wants different. Let me not just assume what she's been through, but from what I'm looking at, it looks like she wants a different experience than what she's had in the past. And if that's the case, I'm all for it. I feel like everybody deserves a happy ending. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like get what the person doesn't actually give it to you. You know what I mean? Because it just sucks. Because like I said, I wanted the relationship to last, but I guess a part of me was like, they just didn't seem like a good fit. You guys know me. When I see a good fit, I'm all for it. When I see a fit that don't really fit, I'm gonna say the same thing. I told you guys, when it comes to one battle after another, the reason that I could just tell Tiana Taylor and Leonardo DiCaprio was going to last, they didn't look like a good fit. Klay Thompson and Megan Thee Stallion, he seems like the type of nigga that would be a good fit for her. But even then, I guess that's us putting assumptions on Klay Thompson that is like, why would we think that? But I guess it's because, like I said, you just assume the nigga that would treat a girl right is a nigga that don't be on social media, that be out the way, you know what I'm saying? You know? The opposite of me, I guess, you know, that's what you assume to be the nigga that'll treat a girl right. But as we clearly see, I'm the nigga that's gonna do them right. You feel me? And I stay on social media. I stay in these girls' comments. I stay in these bitches' DMs. I stay in these bitches' stories. You feel me? This is all cap. You know what I mean? But nah, you guys know me. I really don't care what people think about what I say, especially on here. I say how I feel, and I feel how I say. But that was that. I had to get that little, basically all that background information before I get into what Michael Blackson had to say, which I thought was so funny, because I was like, yeah, you're right. Like, no cap, Michael Blackson. This is exactly all this. Like, I couldn't have said it any better. But let's listen.
Klay Thompson, I'm very disappointed in you. Very disappointed. I mean, Meg is a queen. She's hot. She's beautiful. Got her life together. Successful. And I'm sure Coochie's good. Like, what more do you want? What in the light-skinnedness is going on with you? Why don't you be more like your other light-skinned brother, Steph Curry? He's nice, faithful man. And I know I don't have the nerve. I know it's not the tea cutting the kettle black, but at least I drink my tea. Meg been through enough. Okay, this girl been shot at, and she moving on in life, and she finally felt like she found her a good man, and she found this nigga, this fucking light-skinned white nigga. He won a few championships now. He's torn ACL, broken fibula, busted butt cheeks. He want to cheat while he's halfway injured. You ain't shit, my nigga.
You ain't shit, my nigga. That's so funny, but like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That like all the niggas, that's what we're thinking to ourselves is like, you know, she's been through a lot. Like, why you get with her if you know you wasn't, if you know you was on bullshit? Like, it is what it is, though. You feel me? It is what it is. Because say, like I said, and I think the Joe Budden podcast, like I said, emphasized it the most. Maybe it really was fuck with her, but shit, maybe you fell out of love really fast too. You know, it happens. It happens. But DJ Vlad has actually been kind of in the headlines a little bit this week because recently Boosie was pretty much telling DJ Vlad that, hey, we gotta have another discussion. It's time for another price increase. I did the numbers. I looked at my clout. I looked at my, you know what I'm saying. I did my homework. I think I deserve more money for these interviews. Vlad, being the vulture that he is, I mean, I don't fuck with Vlad. It's not that I don't fuck with Vlad, because it's gonna sound like, oh, I just don't fuck with white people. It's not that I don't fuck with black people. I don't fuck with Vlad. I just don't fuck with people that don't really respect the culture that they're trying to be in. Like I said, I learned very early on in my podcast game, bro, I'm Nigerian, speaking on black topics, so I had to do my homework and be very, you know what I'm saying, I had to be a part of it to be a part of it. And then I realized that, like, no, I actually have more foot into the culture than I give myself credit for. But even then, I still make sure to check myself and be very aware of my privilege and, like, you know, the fact that I'm Nigerian first before anything else. But with niggas like that, I always just get confused, and I'm like, you would think that, but that's what I'm saying. I learn consistently that, like, the mindset that I have and the outlook that I have on life really is my own, and it really is based on my perspective, because really out there's a lot of racism. There's a lot of just disrespect for this black people, and it's just a constant thing, and it's just a thing that's just very common. Like, it's just, the more I just be seeing the way people behave or treat black people, it just lets me know, like, the common belief is that black people are below everybody. So with that, when I see that niggas like DJ Vlad be having these platforms that, in my opinion, like I said, only do good because of the skin and who they represent, whereas somebody like me does it, it won't go as far, it won't do this. Then again, granted, like I said, I'm all for niggas, you know what I'm saying, do this shit. But like I said all that to say that I just be wanting more respect, you know what I'm saying, for people that are not really in something that's just, in a sense, like, just benefit off of something. Like, I don't know why, in my opinion, Vlad is acting as if that, like, people fuck with him for just him. And I'm not saying people probably don't fuck with Vlad, but I think he kind of forgets that his platform is like a half and half thing. You know, you're only as good as the guests you bring on there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think, respectfully, I wouldn't just watch the Vlad interview with just Vlad. I don't care for the guy. What are we talking about? But we care about the interviews where he was, which is what happened, what ended up happening. Where he was being the police, where he was, because he's very well researched, he's very well, you know what I'm saying, thought out. But I think that's where the issue came in, you know what I'm saying? Because if he was someone that was probably part of culture, he could probably still do all the research he would do, but he probably could have presented the information in a way that wouldn't incriminate niggas or make niggas think that, like, he's the feds, you know what I'm saying? Because there was a moment where, I'm telling you, and I think that's where he kind of, like, in my opinion, where he was like, where he could, how he pops it now was before niggas started calling you police. When niggas was like really fucking with you is when you start, and that's when I feel like you kind of went into your police bag in the sense of like I said, just about what you were presenting. Because as someone in the culture, like I said, when I know for a fact, for me, right, I know for me, like I said, you guys know, I can talk about any and everything over here. Like I said, I live in LA. And as someone that be in the culture, I know not to come on here and literally just come here and shit talk LA, because, like, I know what it's going to do for the platform. I know what it's going to do for LA. With Vlad, I feel like he's one of those guys that, like I said, with like what you call it? What's that nigga name? That like Ebro. He's one of those niggas that will do something and then act like they don't know how what they do is going to, like, how they act like they don't know what they did is going to do. Like, he the type of nigga to be like, so there was a shooting on here and you was there and da-da-da-da. So what happened? And then when a nigga asks, he be like, but da-da-da, like, I didn't put the nigga in jail or I didn't get the cops in, but it's like you kind of shed light on the information. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like what, like I said, being that I be in close proximity to this place, I'm not going to say it, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But at least with him, he could say, oh, I don't make niggas come on here and say it. Niggas just come and say it on their own. You know? Like I said, for me, I don't know. I just be feeling like it'd be so obvious to me that, like, obviously, as somebody, as a black person, and I want someone that's going to respect my background, that's going to respect my upbringing, that's going to actually respect the culture, I'm going to have to fuck with somebody of the culture. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know why we still doubt that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why we still be giving these other people our platforms and other people these chances to interview our people, to get the story, to like, you know what I'm saying, really tell our story, when every time they tell our story, they always tell it from a skewed perspective, or from a perspective of like, I'm only telling you this story because I'm benefiting. The moment these niggas don't feel like they're getting anything from it, they don't fuck with us, which is what Vlad is showing. Once Vlad, if it's not financially beneficial for Vlad, he don't want to talk to niggas. Let's be honest, and that's respectable for your platform. But that's what I'm saying. That should just show you that your platform not like that. You know what I'm saying? Because if you only, you know what I'm saying, if you only fuck with Boosie because it's mutually beneficial for you, don't get mad at a nigga for saying that, like, I want more money. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like I said, that's why I'm like I said, it just be so hard for me to think that I could even bring people onto my platform, have people or have partners, because I'm just like, if you're not really my brother, if you're not really my homie, it's not really gonna work. Because if you try to turn what became like a family thing into just a strictly business thing, you might as well not fuck with me. Because like I said, I could just do this by myself. I have the passion, I have the love for this. I'm not trying to mess with somebody that like only fucks with me because everything is cool, and then the moment we're not cool, now you want to talk shit. Now it's this, because that's pretty much what DJ Vlad does. When niggas is fucking with him, it's all peaches and cream, all this. The moment he don't fuck with you, now it's, you know what, your interviews don't really give me that much. Your this don't really do much. You don't really get much numbers, you know what I'm saying? But like, I was making it work because it is. And it's like, oh, now all of a sudden it's like, well, and that's what, like I said, for me, I've told you guys this from now on. You gotta tell people how you really feel. You know, you gotta just tell people how you really feel, because the moment you harbor it or the moment you keep it to yourself and then you tell them after the fact, now you feel like a bitch. Now you feel like you've been hoed, you know? So that's why, hey, if anything, maybe this should be more advice to Vlad. Stop working with niggas you don't really respect. Stop fucking with people that you don't really fuck with. So that way you don't even have to be in a position where now you're like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, this wasn't really, like, it wasn't really doing anything for me, but because I really seen the potential, I kept doing it. No, I only work with the people you fuck with. So that way you don't even feel like, oh yeah, you gotta pay niggas, you know? Like I said, I tell you guys all the time. If I wouldn't do this platform for free, I wouldn't do this platform at all. Dead ass. But let's see what else we got on this list. What else we got to talk about? Because it's not that it wasn't much, but like I said, I knew I wasn't gonna have too much to talk about today, so I didn't want to do nothing too crazy. But oh shit, I actually kind of have some stuff. So, well, let me not do all that, but I want to say that this guy, Chud the Builder, he's been permanently banned on Cake. But I just want to say, like, niggas like him is an example of, like I said, the society we have. Because the fact that he's able to go on platforms and just use the N-word, call people safety, people are chipping out, and nobody ever says anything, it's just so irritating to me. Because like I said, any other race, any other place is always protected, and they always make sure that they do that. But when it comes to black people, it just seems like niggas go viral for saying the N-word. And I just don't like why is that a viable way to being famous by disrespecting black people? But you can never be famous for disrespecting Jewish people or anything like that. Like, why can't we have the same agreement to not disrespect any religion, not disrespect religion, but disrespect any race. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like I said earlier, I'm like, it just shows me that, like, no, society as a world, they're like, we're okay with everybody talking shit about black people. But it's when you guys start talking about Jewish people and all that other stuff, that's when we gotta cancel you. We gotta cancel you. And I feel like they only do shit like this when it's like, okay, they demonetize in the room where it's like, it gets to the point where it's like, okay, bro, you just want, because I'll be watching this clips, I'm like, you just want someone to do something to you. And it's crazy because I'm like, we're wrong for being offended at someone calling us the N-word, but, you know what I'm saying, why can't we be offended at that? Like, why are you calling me the N-word? You don't know me, bro. And you're clearly trying to, you know what I'm saying, you're clearly trying to antagonize me. And then what? Now I'm immature. I can't control my emotions because I let words affect me. I know the saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. But what the words represent matter too. What the words represent matter too. So please, guys, to any of my white viewers that's out there, I hope this platform is allowing you guys to get a little more knowledge, get a little more nuance, get a little more, become actually open-minded, because some of the stuff that you guys be on, I know it's like one of those things where, oh, it's just been programmed in your head. But you got to get out that programming, bro. You got to, you know what I'm saying? If it ain't right, it ain't right. You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm be honest, bro. Black people, we do not be tripping off of no other races. I'm telling you this as a black person in my day-to-day. I tell you guys why I went to the beach. If anything, we want peace. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want to be able to be in an area and not be bothered. We want to be able to be ourselves and not be told that we're doing too much, that we're being loud, that we're having too much fun, because why is it when we have fun, we're being loud and obnoxious is a problem, but when any other race is being loud and obnoxious, it's like they're just going up. When white people have spring break, it's never an issue. When black people have spring break, it's like, oh my gosh, the hoodlums are here. What? When I see constantly, like, that's when, like I said, I feel like I'm more scared of being jumped by some white guys than I am for some black guys. I feel like with some niggas, I can easily get out of that situation. But with some white people, I feel like they're probably really trying to, like, kill you. Really try to take it there and then still play the victim. Whew. I'm telling you, that's really my biggest fear. Being in a situation where, like, the police officers don't even, like, hear me out and I just freaking get, like, just racially profiled, falsely accused or something. They just fucking beat my ass, bro. Like, that's really a fear of mine, bro. No cap. So I say that to say that, please, y'all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever it is that you're listening, wherever it is that you're watching. Thank you. Be careful, be smart, and be safe. Especially to my brothers and sisters. Be safe. Do what makes you happy. Always push yourself first. By putting yourself first, I'm talking about God, yourself, and your family. You know what I'm saying? Always God first. I feel like that's you know what I'm saying, that's unwritten rule. That should just go without saying, but let's just say it. Allah first, then yourself, then your family, because with Allah, you could do anything. And then when you take care of yourself, you could take care of other people. So when I say take care of yourself, I'm talking about, of course, including your family. I'm not talking about strangers. I'm talking about family. They automatically included. So yeah, take care of yourself. Be happy. Be healthy. Be happy. Be healthy. And do what makes you happy. Eat some good food. Make sure to get some rest. You know what I'm saying? Choose peace. You know what I mean? If somebody's trying to antagonize you, if somebody's trying to upset you or trying to, like, get a reaction out of you, the best reaction, no reaction. And if you really come down to it, get away from them and then find an inanimate object, preferably a punching bag, preferably a dummy that you could, like, physically hurt that will not feel pain, and take it out on there, because you're going to, trust me, that's what they want. They want to see you off your game. They want to see you lose everything that you've been working hard for. Don't let them get what they want. Always get what you want and always do what you want, man. Make yourself happy, make your family happy. You know what I'm saying? Make God happy. You know what I mean? Like I said, out here, to my niggas, don't be playing with these girls' hearts. If you know you don't want a relationship, be like me. Stay to your damn self. And if you know you do want a relationship, put yourself out there like me. And then don't stay to your damn self. And then either way, don't get no freaking and still don't and it still go bad. So it don't matter. Just like I said, just try your best to just be a little more conscious about you. You know what I'm saying? How you treat these girls and how the shit that you're doing is resonating, because, you know, like I said, we just can't win. And the last thing we need to be doing is, I guess, more damage by leading these girls on. So try not to lead these girls on. Try to treat them right. And to the women out there, you guys know I can't tell y'all what to do. Y'all gonna do whatever y'all want to do anyway. So keep doing whatever it is y'all want to do. As a man, I can't tell you guys what to do. So yeah, it is what it is. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. This has been the episode 43 of the StayDownLA Podcast. I'm your host with the most, K-Sax-A-P. This has been an amazing time. I've been loving talking to you guys, and I can't wait to talk to you guys again. See you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.